We're going deep tonight. What's happening, baby boy?
I got the Bon Scott tattoo.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You're that fucking... Oh, my God. You're fucking beautiful. You are fucking beautiful. Oh,
Without that guy, I'm dead.
He was tremendous, man. A lot of people. Somebody called me the other day and asked me who named the top 3 front men.
Yeah.
And I brought up Bon Scott, and they're like, he's no Freddie Mercury. I go, you know what?
Oh, was that Don Barris?
No. I go, I seen fucking Bon Scott August 4th of 1979. I was a young kid opening up for Ted Nugent.
I saw the same tour.
Weekend Warriors at Madison Square Garden. He was amazing. That's when he went out in the audience, and he fucking did the whole thing. On Angus would get on his shoulders. People would lose their... That was way before the Pit, the whole fucking thing, stinky people jumping up and down. That was way before that. And then I saw him the next year on Back in Black, right, with Brian. It was amazing. It was like the guy died on my birthday, February 19th.
Yeah.
And they had a new singer, and they were ready to rock. I think they were opening for Judas Priest when I saw him. I mean, I saw Priest. I had to say fucking 15 times.
Yeah, I saw Priest too, man.
And I heard that when they were in town 2 weeks ago, they were just phenomenal.
I was there.
Oh,
man, I couldn't believe it. There was, I went because I did the Nokia Center 2 nights ago with 2 nights before with Russell Peters. So I'm backstage, and there's like the GM. So I go, yeah, I really want to see Priest. And 2 minutes later, they gave me this fucking envelope with seats and passes and shit. So I took Danny from the store.
Oh.
Yeah, I said, we're going to Priest, and we're going in fucking luxury. And, man, they came on. And they played like Jawbreaker, Jawbreaker! Fucking killing, man. And Love Bites. They did a lot of stuff off the... Defenders of the Faith record.
That's when I jumped off the wagon.
Yeah,
by that time, I was mugging people. By that time, it was...
yeah.
I think I was there for heading out to the highway, and I was done.
The Point Entry record. That's the
Point
first time
Entry,
I saw 'em.
And then the one after that. What was the one after? Heading out to the highway, I got nothing to lose. That was it.
That's Point Entry. After that,
Solar
Defender.
Angels. Yeah, I was done by that time. Yeah. By that time, I was way done. I was on
Solar Angels is amazing.
That's what they used to open up with.
That's
on
the one
that
they
tour.
opened, remember?
Yeah.
And they came out of the boxes. And they had the helicopter light.
Listen, it was November. I didn't know anything about anything. And a friend of mine had a hat that said, Jesus Christ. But in the Jesus Christ, it said Judas Priest.
Right.
And I go, what the fuck is that? And the next day, we were in study hall. And the next day, he brought me an 8-track of Unleashed in the East.
Oh.
And I went home and threw that motherfucker on. And I didn't understand. Like, I was still in love with The Song Remains the Same. Live. Oh, yeah. That was it. I came home, and then by that time, when this kid Steve had given me this cassette or 8-track, whatever, I went home and heard, I was blown the fuck away.
Yeah,
like,
The Sinner.
The Sinner,
Green Man Unleashing,
and then Victim of Change, just all that shit.
Exciter,
and
I love that. Stand back from Exciter.
Oh my God! So,
man,
I was really fucking, and I never told the story. I was really fucking depressed. It was 2 weeks after my mom died. It was the week before. It was the weekend after Thanksgiving. That Saturday after Thanksgiving, and my friends were gonna go see Priest. Blah, blah, blah. You want to come? And I'm like, nah. And at 6 o'clock, I go, what the fuck is wrong with me? They're playing at the Palladium.
Yeah.
Going to see a band at the Palladium was like going to the main room at the Comedy Store. Yeah. That's what it was like. Going to the main room. Small. They had they had 2,000 seats. But you understand, it was a movie theater with 2,000 seats. And I went over there by myself, and I got tickets for $20. And I went in, and they came out of the fucking motorcycle. And that was 79, November 29th, 1979. That motherfucker pulled off with a motorcycle, and during The Sinner, he whipped out a whip.
Yeah.
And started just whipping.
He's whipping the tank.
I left there. I didn't know what to do, and I had a little bit of blow.
Yeah.
And I took the bus over. In those days, the bus dropped me off on Boulevard East, where I got mugged, where I tried to mug the gay guy. I think he was gay. He was a pervert, and he beat the shit out of me. And I walked up that block, and I got into an altercation that night. I got into an argument with a guy about a broad. I had bumped into somebody who was cheating.
Yeah.
I bumped into a guy that was cheating with a girl that was a friend of mine. And I walked past him, and I thought about it. I was by the book then. Like, I didn't like that shit at all. And I walked back, and I went off on her. And I remember how scared I was that I was going to fight this kid.
Yeah.
But I didn't give a fuck. I called her a bitch, a fucking whore. You know, he's in fucking a bar right now working to take you out during the week.
Yeah.
And here you are doing this. And the next day, they turned it into like 2 days later. By the time I got to high school that Monday, they had turned it into almost domestic violence. And it really wasn't. Like, they was all, I pushed her. I didn't push this chick.
Yeah,
I just went back and I go, you know what? You should be ashamed of yourself, and you're a fucking whore. I mean, I had a little
verbal assault.
Oh, I had a little coke left in my system. And that girl didn't talk to me for maybe 2 years. Her and the guy broke up.
Yeah.
She went to the guy and told him something different. And I went to the guy and looked him in his eye and go, this is what really happened. They were holding hands. I saw them. Don't fucking tell me. In fact, until this day, that guy that I went on is still around. And when I go back, every once in a while he posts something on Facebook, type of cute, and I just shut him the fuck down. He still hangs out with some of my friends. His name is Tommy. Nobody remembers that, though, how, like, I just went off. And then years later, that dumb chick came up to me. It was cold out. It was really cold out, and and she was drinking vodka and iced tea. This is in high school. This is how pissed off I still am. She lives in Fort Lauderdale. And whenever I do the Miami Improv, they threaten me that they're all going to come down and see me. And I tell them, no Christians allowed. Fuck you bitches. And they stop. They won't come.
Yeah.
But this dummy one night, we're outside. I just get out there. It's got to be 10 after 8. And I see her with like 3 other girls, and I'm with another guy. And they're like, where you guys going? We're going over here. And she had a bottle of vodka and an iced tea. By this time, I still hated this girl. Like, at this age, I just hated you.
Yeah.
If you did something stupid, there was no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I saw
You're
her.
out.
Yeah, she was done. And she came up to me, and she was like, she said something. She was trying to be nice. And I go, what's that on your jacket? I didn't know you were Achile or something. And I did something like, I didn't know you were Achile. And when I walked away about 3 minutes later, she threw one of the iced teas on me. Just fucking threw it on my new jacket and shit. I go, fuck this bitch. I saw her. She kept drinking, and she kept putting an iced tea on the floor. But by that time, the iced tea was a little frozen. And I went behind the tiptoe, and I took the iced tea, and I poured it over her fucking head. And I saw the icicles freezing up on her head. And she came back, and we didn't talk till 82. And then I see her at a coke dealer's house, and everything was all right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When you see somebody at the
blowing
dealer's
lines, man.
Yeah. Once you see somebody at the dealer's house,
Yeah.
everything's forgiven.
Yeah.
You know what? You weren't supposed to see me here. I was supposed to see you there. What's up, Lee Syatt? Where the fuck you been?
I've been here, but I watched something you told me to watch today. I watched that Artie Lang
What
on
did
Howard
you
Stern.
What did you
I wanted to get your opinion on 2 things. First thing was, I've dealt with some people who have been addicts in my life, and a lot of them are masters of talking their way out of trying to convince people that it's not as bad as it seems. And at that point, Artie had only been clean for like 7 months. If you look it up, it's like Artie, I don't know.
Heroin.
Artie does heroin. It's something. It's like 30 minutes long, 40 minutes long. Were you like that too? Could you talk your way out of anything? Really?
Anything. And when I got in a situation, I was talking my way out just so I could get high. You have no idea when somebody squashes your high. Like when you have plans about getting high and you have plans. Mm-hmm. Sure, you don't want nobody to know how deep you really are.
Was Artie back on drugs?
No, not now. It was back when he was still on the show. But Joey just told me to watch the video. But then
classic radio. Classic radio. I never was into fucking radio. I knew he was fucked up. I knew Artie was fucked up 14 years ago when I got a call Christmas week, like a hurry up call to go and audition for the Kevin Nealon show because they thought about firing him. So I sat there with Nick DiPaolo, Rocky LaPorte. It must have been 8 of us that they were just going to pick up because they thought he was crazy already.
His book's amazing. The first one, Too Fat to Fish.
That's the one. It's right before that came out.
I just opened for him about a month ago at the Nokia.
How was his special? His special just came out. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
He had bits and pieces that are pretty funny. He's sarcastic.
But then you watched the video. Did it seem like they were being mean to him? Like I felt bad for him. Like Howard and that black chick.
When people can't listen, it's good radio. They want to get to the bottom of it. Tell me what happened. And he kept pissing around it. Well, I went to this pool league. I went down to shoot pool. Nobody knows. Yeah. But that's how you talk. Everything is subtle.
It wasn't asking questions, but it was like They like the Rob and the Black was like, oh, I knew you were doing it, and then they went around and followed him around with a camera afterward. Like, is this gonna be the time that you're clean? And I can only imagine, like 7 days into being off heroin, you don't really want a camera stuck in your face.
First of all, we don't even know if he was really off 7 days.
That's true.
You have no idea. You have no idea, and you pack your stories, and you become a master of bullshit when you're addicted. I love the guy. I'm not putting him down. I love him.
No, yeah, you were on the show.
And when I called you and told you to watch this, I called you because I thought it was brilliant radio.
Yeah.
It was really... He's got 2 of them on there where they break them down for heroin.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant radio. It's brilliant fucking radio, man. I had never seen it, and I wanted you to see it. That was it. It was
I thought it was interesting. It was just...
painful.
It was painful. And
you could feel his pain, and you could feel the lies, and you could feel... I had to shut it off. If that's what you want me to tell you, I had to shut it off. I couldn't watch the whole thing because I was there.
Right.
I put myself there. When you're there, you know, that's why I like the interview.
How many conversations have you had like that where someone's like talking to you about your drug use?
55. And it'd be somebody really, off color that would talk to me towards the end of the night. And I would get steamed the more and more they talked. They wouldn't know how lucky they were. They wouldn't know. Like, I would be seething inside. And then I'd either walk away or I'd say something. I have friends I didn't talk to for 2 or 3 weeks because of bringing shit up. Like, you know what? Just knock it off. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about rehab. Don't worry about nothing. You know, I got this. We all think we have this, but we really don't.
I was the same way with my weight. If anybody had told me, I would used to get pissed off.
Yeah, you get defensive. You get very defensive, and you can't. You have to see the source. That's what would piss me off. It's the source. It's not what you say. It's how you say it. In those situations, it's very tender, you know. Did you ever do drugs, Dean?
Oh, completely.
How long have you been clean and sober for now?
Well, I'm not clean and sober in about 92. I just said I'm out.
Okay.
But mad piles of blow.
You still drink it all the way?
No.
Nothing.
No, what happened was I burned it up probably a good 10 years straight of just cocaine and vodka and Red Hooks, you know. And then, like, my voice was starting to take a toll, you know.
The cocaine destroys your voice.
Destroys your voice.
It does?
Oh, God,
please,
yeah. Booze and cigarettes. People think, oh, that guy sounds great and he smokes and stuff. That doesn't phase your voice, man. Your voice is your voice. But cocaine and no sleep will wipe your voice out immediately. Because a lot of things that happen are when you're on coke, now you're talking way louder. Yeah, man, well, come get, whoa, all night about dumb bullshit about going to Disneyland next week. We're going to ride that ride or whatever. Just dumb shit. And you're talking and talking and talking, and your voice just gets trashed. And then you don't sleep. And then you're going out singing, and it's over with.
For me, my voice would drop. That's how you knew I did a blast.
Yeah.
My throat would close.
It closes every
time.
I
would whisper. I would whisper just because I wanted you to whisper. So I would whisper so you whispered. And my mentality, if I whispered, you would...
Yeah, why would you want them to whisper?
Because I don't want to hear loud talking. I don't want to hear loud fucking people. I didn't want him to hear what we were talking about.
That's so interesting.
I always answered people in one answer questions. If you ask me a question that would require more than a yes or a no, you're not going to get an answer from me. And I was coked up.
Was this the entire time you did it, or towards the end when you wanted to be alone?
This is the last 10 or 15 years.
Oh, okay.
In the beginning, I didn't shut the fuck up. And then you realize if you talk, you got to listen.
Yeah.
So if you're going to tell somebody an hour story, then you got to put up with an hour of their story while they're holding on to the mirror. You know, well, let me tell you what happened. You're like, let me get the line. All right, enough.
Yeah,
enough with the
usually
fucking story.
The dealer has the stories, and you have to listen to him to get the line. It's like fishing, man.
So it's really interesting that, and then you would bring women home.
Yeah.
And like I told on the Greg Fitzsimmons here, we were here, that is painful. Because then they start opening up about family, and you want to fuck them in the ass, and all of a sudden they tell you how they blew the neighbor when they were 8, and they fucked this, and you're like, I don't think I want you around.
Yeah.
You know
I never did coke with chicks around. Here's the rule with me. Like, I had a girlfriend for 7 years, and I'd be on these 3-4 day benders, and she just figured I was out with women. No, man, I was doing dumb shit, like bowling and talking about rock and roll and watching MTV You know, it was new back then, and VHS tapes of like Judas Priest live or anything. No chicks around because coke would wipe my dick out. Like some.
And once you know it, you're done with them.
Yeah.
Once you come to terms that you're not going to get a hard on, and now you're going to sit there, you're going to be naked for 3 hours, and you're going to eat her pussy, and you're going to run out of coke. You know what? Fuck it. How about we eliminate the middleman, leave her at home. I'll stay in my room. I'll jerk off, maybe watch a little porn, maybe if it's available, something on Showtime or Cinemax, and go to sleep.
I did a lot of dumb shit like
that's what
my dealer had foosball. So it'd be like a 6-hour foosball tournament for hundreds of dollars. You know, just, you know, battling foos and your arms all fucked when you leave. But, you know, just hanging with dudes, talking and rocking and playing guitar and shit. No women around. It was just coke fort.
So what made you stop? Because Joey has a similar story. He just stopped. He didn't go to rehab or anything.
Yeah. Well, my voice was starting to get shot, and I had 3 other guys in the band, and it was like, you know, when you're the singer and everybody's surviving, you can't go, well, I can't sing. Now nobody's paying bills. So they're like, what the fuck are you doing blow for when you know your voice is going to be fucked up? You know, so, and also I was describing the pain to somebody of what like a bad throat feels like when you hear about singers like Adele or Steven Tyler or anybody where they get vocal nodes, that's like calluses on your vocal cords. It feels like 100-pound weights on your throat. So you're like, I got to get rid of this, you know? So that is bummer.
What happens when the expression, your voice goes? Let me get a milk dud over there. Let me see what you got in the bag of life. Like, let's take an example. Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw Chris Cornell early on. I don't know what year it was, and his voice sounded great, but it was a small place.
Right.
Then I saw him in 97 before I left Seattle.
Yeah.
And it wasn't good. And I'm like, is this the H? Is this the blow? And then I saw him on Saturday Night Live. It's on YouTube, though, Down on the Upside.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, God, his voice is bad. And now, Chris's voice is a little back.
Yeah.
But it's not all back. He has to sing a different style now to describe what happens. What happens to your voice?
Well, you got to think about when you're writing those tunes and recording them, you're 20, 21 years old. You're not thinking, when I'm 55, I'm going to be singing Hands All Over. You know how high that is, like, hands all over. You know, you're not thinking about that. You're thinking, I can sing high, and I'm going to fucking show you guys I can sing high. Though obviously, they're kind of Zeppelin, Sabbath back then. And so you sing high. You're not like who thought Brian Johnson was going to sing Back in Black at 60 years old? You're not thinking that, you know? So you're in the studio and you're singing. And also, you got to understand, when you're in the studio, it's so fucking easy to sing. You got phones on. You can hear everything perfect. And you're like, Back in Black, hit the sand. Bit the long, I'm glad to be back. Well, that's how loud as you're singing. Now when you're in a fucking arena and it's crazy loud, this is pre in-ear monitors. Now most singers use those. You just have shitty speakers on the floor and you're going over Marshall stacks that are like fucking locomotives. And you're trying to sing on top of that. So your voice just gets trashed, you know, and no sleep. Air conditioning, buses, travel, interviews, over and over and over. Smoke, like the fake smoke, you know, that shit. Oh, I hate that stuff.
What does air conditioning do? Because I used to work on a TV show where the host would come in to do voiceovers, and he loved the booth really cold, but then I've heard a lot of people like it really warm.
Well, some people it dries out their throat. Some people it doesn't. But AC can dry out your throat, different climates. You know, you can get into like Arizona and shit and be, you know, all dry. You know, wherever, everything. The problem with singing is it's your body. Guitar is too, it's hands, but that takes years to go, you know, like you get carpal tunnel or something. But with singing, it's completely your body. And you want to get up and running like the band and party all night and talk and, you know, and you can. if you're going to keep going. I mean, these bands like AC/DC, if you look at their tour on Back in Black, they played like a solid year every fucking day. There's no day off once that record hits. You don't get to go, I need 4 days off. They go, no, man. It doesn't happen because there's too much money lost on days off. Hotels, tour bus, cruise, everything.
And you said you toured for 4 years straight once. Or
3 years, yeah. But that's van stuff, and you can plot it out your own way. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So it's not every night.
It's every night, but you're not like, that's a larger scale. Those guys could be doing 3 interviews a day in the morning. Like when we do comedy and you got to go do morning radio. Imagine you got to do morning radio, then afternoon radio, then you go sound check, then you do the gig, then maybe you got to get right on the bus. You don't sleep right away on the bus. You're wide awake, jacked from the gig. And then you roll into town 6 a.m., back to radio, some more radio, a sound check. After a while, you're like, fuck. I'm tired right now from doing comedy, And that's not even like, rock. Rock, also, you have mad volume. Shit is so fucking loud on stage, and you're out there just trying to get above it.
Very interesting what you said, that when you sing, it's your whole body. I feel the same way about fucking comedy sometimes.
It's true.
When I headline 5 shows, Friday night, when I go back to my room, I'm stiff. It's like I played in a football game. I gotta go back. Yeah. It's your whole fucking body. I feel my toes holding onto the floor. I feel my spine in action. My mind's thinking. I'm speaking at a certain volume. It's really, people think, I come home on Sunday. I have a week, I'm 51. I don't have Sundays in me. I don't have a Wednesday in me.
Yeah.
I don't have that show on Wednesday. A couple of weeks ago, I got greedy when I was home a week, and I called and I got all these spots.
Yeah.
By Sunday, my blood pressure was 2,000 because I'm getting home at 12, staying up till 1. You're jacked 1:30.
Yep.
And then you're getting up at 6 with the baby. And you're doing it all over again. You're writing, you're doing a podcast, you're talking to this guy, you're talking to that guy. It adds the fuck up.
Yeah, man.
When I go on the road now, I try to keep it light. Friday and Saturday. I got 2 shows. I don't want to be walking around. I don't want to go to no fucking events.
Yeah.
I don't want to do nothing because I know that whatever I do is going to take away from my show. I'm going to be tired. I'm not going to sell a joke the right way because my knee hurts. So I don't want that to happen.
Does the voice thing come into effect? Because you scream. You don't scream, but you're loud. You're not a quiet person on stage.
No, you're breathing and you're thinking, and that requires fucking calories and rest. And
yeah,
it's
man.
Amazing. It
in the
really
last month,
does.
I feel like I'm falling apart. It's weird, and I've never felt like this. But I'm working 7 days a week. I'm 48, and in the last month, my knees hurt, but my brain, I feel foggy lately. And I don't know what that is. Like, I'm just like...
You just need a couple of days off to get your mind... You need to go get entertained. You need to go see Judas Priest one night.
See a movie.
A couple movies.
Yeah.
Watch some people walk by and fall.
Yeah.
And then your mind gets refueled. Your mind gets refueled when you do the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
So I watched a movie in my hotel room. I hate doing it, but I did it. $16 fucking.
Yeah.
But I did it because I know this is what I need to be good at night.
Yeah.
I need to watch a couple Law and Orders. I need to take my mind off what I'm doing. If you ask a Major League Baseball player before he has a game, what's he want to do? He wants to do something completely opposite than that game. You want to listen to some music, maybe watch a TV show. So now when it's time, your mind is perplexed and focused and ready to fucking blow up. If you're sitting there thinking about it, you're wasting that energy. You're burning energy. If you're just sitting there watching the UFC, cheering for a fight with your mind somewhere else, it's so much better for you. At least this is what I feel. So
do you have worse sets? Like when you started out, if you were going over your set list and going over jokes?
When I first started out, until about 15 years ago, I hadn't figured it out. A great lady once told me, on game shows, on game day, I don't do dick before the shows. Really? You don't want to go eat dinner? No. And I was like, that's amazing. She goes, and I thought about it. And every time I go meet people to eat dinner at 6, I'd bomb the first show.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be eating dinner talking. And then they're asking you stupid questions. So tell us about L.A. What's the auditioning process? And you're talking, and you're talking, and you're talking, and you're talking. That's not... Now you get on stage and you're unfocused. You didn't entertain. You were entertaining.
Yeah.
So when I go to dinner, you call me up and go, my family wants to take you out to dinner. I'm entertaining. They're asking me fucking questions. How was it working with De Niro? How was it working with Adam Sandler? So I'm entertaining.
Yeah.
So now I got to do 3 fucking shows. So now the people who are paying to see me, I'm bombing in front of them because I'm tired from talking with these jerk-offs for dinner about nothing.
So what's your perfect day on the road then?
Perfect day on the road is on a Friday morning, I get up, I do a little radio. I go back, I get stoned, I take a nap. Right? On the way to radio, I might eat a little breakfast, maybe before I get a little breakfast. On the way back, I get stoned. I don't want to do no fucking podcast. I don't want to do shit.
Yeah, I get up around,
I get up at 2 o'clock. I'm done with podcasts. When I leave here on Wednesday, I'm done with podcasts, okay? Now, then comes fucking Friday. I get up around 2. I go downstairs. I eat lunch somewhere very close. Somewhere very close. On the way back, I smoke a joint. I drink a cup of coffee. Now I have an hour to sit down and go over my material for the night. Go over maybe something I said at the Laugh Factory, something. I'll call you and go, what did I say the other night at the store? And you're telling me that's what I'm doing. My food's digesting. So about 4:30, I go to the gym. I ride the bike. I lift some fucking weights. I jump in the pool. You might steam and sauna. You're back upstairs by 6 o'clock. Now you got an hour. You're coming upstairs. You watch a little news. Maybe at 6:30, you go upstairs. You wash your pussy. 7 o'clock, you're ready to fucking go. You sit there till 7:30. You take a cab or they come get you.
So
that's it. I don't want to see nobody. Huh?
You don't eat dinner before a show?
No, I don't want to see nobody. I don't want to eat. I don't want to talk to
I just meant by yourself.
Yeah, by myself the whole time. There's no reason to be talking. I'm sitting there. I'm preparing. I got 2 fucking shows. I got to go entertain 250 fucking people a show for 2 shows minimum. You think, what am I going to go do? Who do you want to go talk to? I go do my 2 shows. Now, Friday for me is a big night. That's a big night. I come home, I take sleeping pills because I want to sleep 15 hours because Saturday night I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to get on that fucking plane at 5 in the fucking morning and get the fuck out of there. So my Friday night, there's no partying, there's no drinking, there's no nothing. Once the show is over, I go back. I may get something to eat. I may not get something to eat. More than likely, I won't get something to eat, but I get a nice coffee, strong, and I'll stay up till 2 and write and go over my show and think of what I said and what I thought of and Law and Order's on or something stupid. And about 2 o'clock, I take 2 fucking sleeping pills, and I want to sleep till 9, 9:30, 10. I want to get up, eat breakfast, and if I'm lucky enough, smoke a joint and come back and take another fucking nap till 12 or 1. And the same thing, I get up. Now, today I work out different. I'll go to the pool and swim. Something. Again, somewhere light, you eat dinner, and you're in your room. I'm packing. By 5 o'clock, I'm already packing. So when I leave at 7:30, when I come back at 12, nothing. All I got to do in the morning is put my sleep apnea away, take a shower, wash my pussy, drink a cup of coffee, take my vitamins, and go to the airport.
How would you describe the road? Because I know it's business for you, so you can't really look at it this way. But it sounds, I don't know if this sounds mean, but just boring. Like if you were in a city, you might want to go see a baseball game or go.
I used to have a lot of fun on the road.
Yeah.
And there was a time when you went on the road with your musicians, you were new to it. It was fun. You were Slash.
That's right.
You drink, you're snorting coke, you're going up there. Maybe you had good musical sets.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't. But you're going through growing pains. My first 10 years on the road were growing pains. We're learning. And you learn, and you learn, and you learn. And don't get me wrong, till 7 years ago, I would go on the road to fucking get high. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you it was nothing different. But even then, I took care of myself a little bit. I didn't really get myself involved. Like, I didn't go to people's houses. At the club, somebody brought me to blow, and right from the blow to the hotel room.
Yeah, I don't go to people's houses.
No houses, no parties.
They're always trying to get you to go to their house.
Yes, the house, no. Because then I wake up at 6 in the morning, I don't know where the fuck I am.
Yeah, they might get
in a strange city.
You know?
No. See you guys tomorrow. Again, what do you want to do? I came to the show, and I want to see where you're staying. Listen, this is what's going on. I got a gram of blow in my pocket. But if we go back to the hotel, as soon as we get on, I'm going to put you to work. I have a boyfriend, then stay here and wait for your fucking boyfriend. I'll go home and jerk off by myself. And that's it. It's that simple. That's what it used to be. And I learned a lot going on the road with Joe. Joe would call me up and go, you want to go work out? Work out? What are you talking about? Bye. Click. Hang up on him. Fucking work out. I'm on the road. We'll work out. I'm about to order the three fire macaroni and cheese. I'm going to get myself a pastrami sandwich and a milkshake. You want to go fucking work out? What the fuck?
Just a fucking death machine.
And then they used to go on the road at first, and there used to be a lot of us. And I didn't like that. I never liked that. I don't like boys' bands. I don't like 6 people hanging out. But that's the way it was. And then I raised my hand, and he went on tour, and then it changed. I didn't like that. I didn't like getting up at 1. They always wanted to go to a fucking mall. Yeah. What am I, fucking 16?
Yeah.
You know, Rogan and Tate and Eddie, let's go to a mall. What the fuck? Go to a fucking mall. So people are like, that's the guy from Fear Factor. And 5 guys are standing around. Fuck you in the fucking mall. I'm going to go to no fucking mall. So I stopped going to the mall with those motherfuckers. And I learned that the least I was fucking around the daytime, and the more I was by myself and in my head, the better I would do at night.
Yeah.
The more I was, and you know when you're in your head. I love Lee. I love when Lee goes on the road with me, but I don't.
I never see him.
I don't want nobody on the road with me.
Yeah.
When I go on the road and I leave on Thursday, as much as I like you, Dean, you need the money, you want me to take it, I'll take it. But I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't want to see nobody. I don't know what the fuck you do in the daytime. I don't want to go to museums.
I went out with Bobby Lee. I never saw him once.
No, I don't want to do nothing.
And I never even took, because I didn't, like whenever I go to a show, I don't want to be in the way. But I know you like talking in the green room and stuff. But like when we went to Austin, I never called you for, I didn't know I knew kind of what your process was. But people would text me and be like, "How's the road?" I'm like, "I'm watching TV. I went and walked around the area for a second." But I didn't expect us to be hanging out all day. I thought that would have been weird.
It's just something I got over.
Yeah.
And as you move along, you realize that it's a waste of your energy. I'm about to do 2 shows. People fucking paid to come see me.
Well, what it is, too, is your life. What people don't understand is for about 6 hours of your life, you're in front of about 5 to 1,000 people, strangers. And you're on. Just, oh, yeah, thanks, man. Oh, yeah, thanks for coming.
You're
Check my
pictures. You're hugging people.
Everything. So then the second I'm done, I run to the room and just chill, decompress all the way to the bottom. Just like, phew, man. And if I don't grab these personal times, I'm going to run out of gas. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I shouldn't have fucking told that. But that's my problem. Sometimes a guy will be like, hey, man, I know you're good with eBay. Can you maybe help me with this? Or, hey, can you get my car fixed? Because I know all kinds of people. And then I get into that, and then I go, fuck, I need a nap, and I'm fucked here. You know, whatever. Not just on the road, but in town or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm doing 3-4 spots a night in town, and I'm going, fuck, I'm fucked here. I didn't get any sleep today. I gotta have sleep, man. It's weird. I'm 48, but I feel 90 because I'm working 7 days a week. Even with rock, you didn't work 7 days a week. You didn't work like 4, 5. And, you know, it's different. You got different...
You're out. I see you. You're at the left back. Yeah. You're here. And that's what it takes. That's what a lot of these guys don't think. When you first get to L.A. or you're first moving around here, it's like what they tell you when you go to get out of a rehab. Listen, when you get out of a rehab, you got to go to a meeting every day for 6 months. Yeah, but listen, it's not going to work out for you.
Yeah.
If you don't go to a meeting every day for 6 months. And that's the first 90 days. After that, I need for you to go to 3 fucking meetings a day.
Yeah.
And that's when people crack. People don't know that dedication. People don't know. You know, when I got here from 97 to 2005, I went out every night. Those 17 weeks I was in the longest yard was the first time I wasn't out every night. Because I was in New Mexico. I was out every night, guys. I hosted on Sunday nights.
Yeah.
You did the open mic on Monday. You did Tuesday because it was Fat Tuesday before people in the original room. And then before that, I needed my Coke money. I'd be at Felipe's. I'd be at Fly's. I'd be all over fucking town doing these Mexican rooms.
Yeah.
Because they made you better. By the time I got to the store, I was going to kill those motherfuckers. Because I just did 2 Mexican rooms where they're fucking not even paying attention to me.
Yeah.
You know, I had to follow Jeff Garcia or something. It's amazing. So I was out every night. Then one day I go, you know what? I got to do something. You got to pick your battles. And you have to make the scheduling. But there's one point in your career here where you're here the first 3 or 4 years. You're out every night. I didn't know nothing about. I'm going to rest. My show is on tonight, Portlandia. No. Nah. You watch Portlandia. We have a friend that lives in movie land. What's his career do? You got no time for movies. There's no Breaking Bad in your life. There's no DVRing. When I get home at night, I used to get the backstage when I first got here.
Yeah.
Backstage was huge then. If you want to act, this was your way in because agents wouldn't sign you without a reel. They didn't care what was on that reel, so you'd have to use college films. So I would buy Backstage on the way home. I would stop at Curson.
Yeah, get the Backstage.
Backstage
paper,
there at 12, and I go home on Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and I fill out envelopes all night and auditions and lick letters and handwrite, I want to be in your movie, and send them. So I would get the first, because on those movies, they're now no budget, so they only look at 10 people. So I always wanted to get my foot in the door at those. I'd be up till 4 licking envelopes, doing blow, but I'd be licking envelopes at the same time.
Yeah.
And then you get up, and it's the same. You're meeting people to write, and blah, blah, blah. I was telling somebody I threw my fitness away.
Yeah.
When I first moved here, I was 240. I went up to 300 pounds in 6 months because everything was comedy. It wasn't that I didn't take care of myself. I gave my life for this.
That's what I got going.
Ozzy Osbourne sold his soul for rock and roll. You want to fucking own comedy. You want to own an artist. You want to be a musician. You want to be a painter, a plumber, a carpenter. First 5 years, you got to fucking own it. You got to fucking own it. You got to get in there. Well, I can't work Thanksgiving night because fuck your fucking family. Yeah. Fuck your fucking family. Yeah. You're the second guy. If you work Thanksgiving, you might fucking get a bump. The guy will see you. That's how you move up. Well, I've been there for 3 years. Well, work fucking Thanksgiving. You got to work. What the fuck? What the fuck? That's what. As soon as a comic tells me, yeah, things aren't happening. I guess you got to be gay to make it in Hollywood. Yeah. What are you doing next weekend? I'm going to my brother's wedding. You know what I'm doing? I'm doing 9 spots in town. That's why nothing's happening for you. Yeah. Because they come out here and it's a fucking jokey joke. Let's go to the Improv and hang. There ain't no hanging.
Yeah, there's no hanging.
Ain't no hanging, dog. If you ain't getting on stage, there ain't no hanging. Why are you going to go down there and hang and talk to who? You hang on stage. Once you hang on stage, you give your goodbyes. You get your free dinner when you're broke. Because when you're broke and they give you a free cheeseburger, you take that motherfucker to go.
You don't miss that burger. I ate one last night there.
Yeah, that's the point of doing the spot there.
Absolutely.
Is to get your fucking free meal. That's all comes with it.
When I'm doing an improv, I don't spend money the whole day. I just starve it out till I get there.
That's what a fucking comic does.
Yeah, because I know, I go, okay, I'm going to eat. I can eat as much as I want there.
When you walk into the comedy store, the cherries fucking flinch. If you walk by the bar and the cherries are like, I'm going down, you're a real fucking comic. You understand me?
I heard a great thing from a buddy of mine. He said, Jay Moore said that Jay Leno said, they said, hey man, how'd you get like somewhere at the Comedy Store back in the day? And he said there was 4 comedians in line always. First one got out of line for a drink. The next one got out of line for a joint. The next one got out of line for pussy, and I stepped on stage. And it was an amazing scenario, you know, because that's, when I'm at the places, I'm not there to party, and I'm not there to, seek out anything except stage time.
Well, that comes with age and experience.
Right.
You sift right through the bullshit.
Right.
While they come in, they're like, let's do a drink. Yeah, I'll be right back. Let's get 2 drinks. Get a Jack and Coke, too. And I'm going to call for heroin. We're going to go back. Got this fucking moron. You just keep walking. Just keep walking. And you, that's a great job. Get the fuck out of here. You get in your car and you go to the next thing. You do another spot. Mm-hmm. And there's always the people that are going to be hanging out, you know. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Go take care of your business first, then come back.
Yeah.
That was my motto. I went and took care of business first, and I snorted coke, and I got my dick sucked, and I looked out windows. But I went and did my 2 or 3 spots first.
Yeah, you can do anything after you've worked.
After you work, you do whatever the fuck you want.
That's
Because then your conscience is clear. I did what I had to do. That's why they call it work, because nobody wants to fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? How'd you get into music? How old were you? Now, you're from the Bay Area.
Yeah, I got into music when I was...
I used to work at Rockin' Robins.
Really?
At San Francisco in 1985.
Wow.
What's Rockin' Robins?
It was a bar, rock and roll bar, that the lights, Cadillacs were all up in the wall, grills.
Yeah.
And the lights would go on. And
did they sing in there, the waiters? It was a 50s bar, right?
Yeah, something weird. I worked on Mondays as a doorman.
Did you live in the city?
Friday, I lived in the Tenderloin in 1985.
Did you do comedy there?
Not at all. I was robbing people then.
Yeah.
I was cashing in traveler's checks in Japantown for the Cubans. I was a bodyguard. I was selling blow. I did... Excuse me. I did everything. In fact, the other night I read something. I told people on stage that I lived everywhere bad. And one of the worst places bad I ever seen was the Tenderloin. In the end, there was an article Saturday. A bunch of guys were heckling a chick. The guy stuck up for his girlfriend. They stabbed him 9 times. They don't fuck around the Tenderloin.
Let me tell you something. The Tenderloin still is not going to... I was just there because we were doing the Warfield, and that's the Ground Zero, Turk Street and all that in there. It's the ground zero of just ghetto. And here we're talking about a city where a studio costs $2,200 right now. You know what I mean? But they'll never, and I mean never, be able to charge good money for the Tenderloin because the roaches and the fucking stench and the death in there is never going to leave.
So they're not trying to gentrify it?
I'm sure they've tried, but they just... What are you going to do?
I used to go. Original Joe's was right there.
It just burned down.
That's the one that burnt down.
That was the great one. They reopened in North Beach, which is great. But that Original Joe's was fire.
Those waiters had the fucking outfits on, dog. It was straight up gangster. I had a guy, Mr. Chow. I always had a Chinese waiter in there. And I get the fucking Rusty Nails. I get Rusty Irishman, the fucking...
Do you know when you're going to San Jose next year already?
July.
Of course.
There's one right there.
Right there.
Right there next to the Fairmont.
He's been there. I've taken him 3 nights.
I went there one weekend 2 years ago, and I think you went there like 5 times. We went for breakfast once.
Yeah.
You looked up online what time they opened, and we planned the walk, so we'd get there right as they opened the door, and there was already a line.
I'd eat that
at like
forever.
10:30 or 11
I get the
a.m.
Slim Joe burger. They got the Joe burger, then they had the Slim Joe or the Joe Jr., and it was on a baguette.
Oh,
fresh
and they
baguette.
cut it in half.
Man.
And they put mayonnaise on their burger.
Yeah, fucking great.
And I usually don't like mayonnaise on my fucking burgers.
They had that sidebar there that was like straight out of Bukowski or, Barfly. Had a bar there. You just sit in there all dark, watch the 49ers play, I used to have this group of friends I hung out with. When we turned 30, we had the Dirty 30. And we would meet at Original Joe's and drink on in that back room and eat.
In San Jose?
No, at the San Fran one.
Oh, down the
right there behind
I seen a guy stabbed in front of there one time, bleeding, dead, begging for people to help him.
You walked right into Original Joe's.
Yeah, man, you just step over him. That's standard, routine down there.
I can't help you. That spaghetti's calling my name.
I had just moved from New York, and I was going in there to get my spaghetti fixed. Every fucking day for lunch.
It's so good.
I would wake up knowing that I had to go out and hustle $50 for lunch just to go to Original Joe's like a doctor. As long as I had a meatball, I'm good to fucking go. I don't need spaghetti with this and that, all you fucking morons that ruin your spaghetti. I need spaghetti and 2 fucking meatballs and a piece of bread and some butter. That's it.
Yeah, you know who's got a mean spaghetti? Jones. You eat there, Santa Monica and like La Brea. It's killer. Jones.
Jones.
That's the rock and roll. It's been there like for 25, 30 years, but the jukebox has the best metal. Like you're in there, they're playing Motorhead. They have a wall of Jack Daniels bottles, and then it's all rock and roll, and then they serve spaghetti in a skillet. Comes out fucking just cooking, and it's killer, man. The sauce is kind of spicy, 2 big meatballs, and you're listening to Motorhead.
See, meanwhile, you take a train down to eat fucking French food.
No, you got to eat at this place. I go there. I go there like once a week. Jones. It's on Santa Monica by that Target and that Best Buy right there. Yeah. Oh, Formosa Cafe is across the street from it, so it's right there.
The weed store. Then there used to be a weed store.
There was a weed store.
There was the weed store right there.
Yeah.
You know me, I'm better than fucking weed maps. What was I say to you? So you started in San Francisco. What was cracking up there then? What kind of music was on fire? I mean, that's Santana. That's a fucking beautiful area. But what was cracking for you? What made you pick up the guitar or the microphone or the drums? What was it?
Well, I mean, it's the bands that you're listening to, but then there's big club bands at the time. The club that was the ground zero for San Fran was called The Stone. It was on 412 Broadway. It was on Broadway. Across the street was the Mabue Gardens. That was the CBGBs of the West Coast. And those 2 clubs had all the rock and all the punk. And everyone played them. Everyone from fucking, Devo, Dead Kennedys, Jerry Garcia, Slayer, Kiss. Everybody, played those 2 rooms. And I would just hang there every fucking day. It was like my comedy store now, my workshop. And there was big club bands that nobody knew, but they were stars to me. Local bands that were selling it out, like Vicious Rumors or Roadrunner, or this band Le Mans, all these bands when I was growing up. And then Metallica came in, and it became Metallica and Exodus and Laws Rocket and all this metal Testament. And really, it was like once Metallica started hitting, I was like, wow, this is fucking great.
What were you doing for a living then?
I did construction, which was the fucking worst. You got to get up at like 6. And I was a laborer, carrying fucking wood up. I did that for a while. Then I painted. I moved on to painting houses. And then I got into booking the Stone. I was like, I don't know, maybe 20. And I started booking the club. Because I knew all the bands, so I was helping them. Like, you got to get this band or that band. And they're like, well, why don't you book the weeknights? And that's really where I got my knowledge of business, which helped now with comedy. I understand booking. I understand agencies. I understand commissions, deals, all that paperwork and everything, deposits. I learned it all as a kid. So it helped me as I played rock. I just managed the band myself because I already knew all the scams and deals and how it worked, And also when a great band came, my band opened. Because I booked myself on it, you know what I mean? So it was a great learning experience.
We talk a lot about some people don't want to start from the bottom.
Yeah. It's
pretty cool that a lot of musicians might not, I don't want to work at the club and I'm a musician. It's pretty cool that you went and you learned and it helped you out. Like some people wouldn't do that job.
I think the thing was, to me, it was a record store or that, if you could, or a guitar center, if you could be around rock and music. We're talking about, this isn't now where you go to Chipotle and fuckers got tattoos on their necks and hands. And, back then, if you had even one tattoo, you'd have to hide it for a regular job. You couldn't have long hair. You'd have to put it up in a hat, Now you can just you can look like a garbage can and work at Chipotle. I mean, like I always say, I don't think I got enough tattoos to work at Chipotle, and I'm covered in them. So whenever you could get a job where you could say, this is how I look, and I'm going to be gone maybe a couple days a week instantly to do a gig, that's the kind of gig you're looking for, because you gotta make some money. You're not making any money in your band when you're starting, and that's not what it's about anyway. That's why a lot of rockers back then painted or did construction, because it didn't matter what you looked like out there.
There's a company out here that's called Rock and Roll Movers.
Yeah.
And they're just in a band and they move.
That's it. I've seen them. Whatever you could do back then and get away with your look, you got to understand, hair down to your ass and tattoos, no one's hiring you. You know what I mean? What are you going to do, like work as a waiter? People would be like, who is that criminal? I mean, that was actually a criminal look. Sideburns. I looked like Neil Young for big old mutton chops and straight hair like a Greg Allman, You're not getting a regular job like that, but you got to work. But also, you didn't have to work that much because rent was like $1 in the city back then. No one wanted to live in the city. They wanted to live in Marin or Walnut Creek. The city was blue collar and dirty, So all the artists lived in the city and rockers and painters, and it was fucking fantastic. Now all the rich people want to live in the city, because it's like, ooh, it's multicultural and
I get a cappuccino.
it's this is our city, and it's like, fuck, man, you wanted Marin, go back over there. It's crazy, man. I remember living in an amazing apartment for $275, and I had a garage. In San Fran, that's like fucking $275, man.
I lived at the Virginian Hotel, which is now the Hostel.
The Hostel.
In Tenderloin, right there across from the Hilton.
Yeah. Oh, I know that.
And the Alexander Hotel, that's the first hotel I robbed. I mean, it's fucking crazy. I was a full-blown criminal in San Francisco. It was my first apprenticeship being out of Jersey. What was the first band you were in?
First band I was in, this is an amazing story. I told it somewhere else, but I was in a band with 4 buddies, I was in high school still. They were 2 years out. Started this band, and we named it Warrant because me and the other guy always had warrants. Like, run a stop sign, you get a ticket, you just fuck that thing.
You got a warrant.
Got a warrant. Fucking speeding, see you later. I'm not paying that shit. I ain't got no money. And then, there'd be that tail light out you didn't know about, and boop, boop, you get pulled over. And
there you go. Bye-bye.
Fucking warrant. Sitting down there at 850 Bryant, San Francisco, going, fuck. So we get the band together, and my mom's like, you guys should be called Warrant. My mom, she was like, you guys all have warrants always. It's a great name. We're like, that is a great name. My mom was smart enough to copyright the name in Sacramento. You could copyright it for like $100. You own the name. And a few years later, that band Warrant got big, and they came a knocking. They were like, hey, their lawyers called and said, we tracked you down. This is pre-internet or fucking cell phones. And they're like, we want to buy the name. We'll give you $750 or whatever. And we're like, no, because we were getting big. We didn't want to give up our name. That's like starting over. You can't be like, the Ding Dongs, formerly Warrant. It's just starting over. It just looks hokey. And we were on a fucking roll. Then they called about a month later. We'll give you $2,000. And it was me and my buddy were partners. We're like, nah. It's not worth it, $2,000. We're broke, right? And then we don't hear from them like 6 months. And they're like, they call and they go, we'll give you $10,000. Last offer, we said no. And then they go, all right, 20 immediately. We go, okay. And we sold them the name. It was funny, about 7 years ago, I was in Vegas seeing Metallica New Year's Eve, and I didn't want to get a room, so I just stayed up all night and then caught the first flight out. And I'm sitting there on this couch, and here comes this guy. So I look at him, like, I know this guy. He sits right by me. I can't believe it. It's Janie Lane, the singer of Warrant. He recently passed away a few years back.
At a hotel right up here, right?
Yeah,
Canoga Park.
Exactly. He sits by me, and we've never met. I mean, this is fucking creepy, right? There it is, like, out of nowhere, guy sitting next to me. I said, hey, man, I sold that band name to you. And he goes, oh, fuck, man. I always hated that fucking name. I can't believe I'm meeting you, man. I go, I know, right here. And he goes, yeah, I wanted to call it Lane, like Lane Street or something, because he came into the band later. But they were big under Warrant, and the label wouldn't do it. He goes, I hated it. And then we paid you guys. Came out of our pockets. I was like, hey, man, sorry, brother. And he's all good. Let's go watch a game. He was into like a college team he wanted me to go see when we landed. I was like, see you, man. It was weird. And then he was dead like a year later or something. Strange, though, how you meet someone later, right? That's weird how
and
that...
you tell him.
I told him.
That happened about a year ago. I bumped into Ice Cube. Ice-T, which one is the really good rapper? Not
Ice Cube.
Not
the guy in Law and Order, or no?
Yeah, the guy in Law and Order.
That's Ice-T.
Ice-T and Ice Cube. Yeah. I opened for Ice Cube.
Yeah.
In 1995 in Boulder for $100. I would go to the Fox Theater and torment them and say, my name is Joey Diaz.
That's a great theater.
I had fucking 8 minutes of material.
Yeah.
And I would go torment them. I got 20 minutes. I want to open up for somebody. They go, all right, whatever, we'll call you. And one day they fucking called, and they're like, when you open up for Ice Cube playing, you take $100, right? Yeah. I went up there and fucking bombed so bad. They were fucking, but they had weed, and it was terrible. And you know,
dude,
a year ago I seen him, and I go, I don't know if you remember me. I opened for you in Boulder. He goes, yeah. You were pretty bad back then. We were fucking laughing our asses off. Because I remember you were embarrassed. You came back there and shit. It's, what do you do? But
life's weird, right? Like, I worshipped NWA growing up. I saw Ice Cube 3 different times. And, I mean, he was my God when I was a kid. And I did a movie with him 5 years ago. And I couldn't fucking believe the first day on the set, he comes walking up. He's like, hey, how's it going? I was like, that's fucking Ice Cube right there. Straight out of Compton. Crazy motherfucking name, Ice Cube. From a gang called Niggas with Attitude. You know what I mean? You're like, man, that's him. It's crazy to do a movie with a guy that who thought 20 years ago I'm going to be sitting, doing a football movie with him? It's so bizarre, right?
It works. When I got here, I got to meet James Coburn. I did a movie with James Coburn in Arliss. And I thought my life was it. That was it. You know, and then I did something with Dick Van Dyke, who was, when I came from Cuba, that's how I learned to speak the language. And I couldn't. I kept talking to his son. He goes, why are your eyes watering up? And I kept saying, I can't look at your dad. And I told Dick Van Dyke's son the story, and he went and got him. He goes, come here, tell my dad. And while I'm telling Dick Van Dyke the story, I'm just crying. I'm just bawling. I'm just like, you have no idea what this means to me. When I got off that plane in Cuba, I'd watch your show every fucking morning. And here I am.
Yeah.
With you. Oh my fucking God. Are you kidding me? If my mother was alive, I'd have her on the phone lighting candles and shit and fucking.
It's crazy.
It
right?
really is that you look up to people and you bump into them years later. I see, you know, I've been wanting to go see Pat Benatar.
Yeah.
I was a big Pat Benatar fan. Every
Love
time
her.
she's in town, I'm out of town. But I would love to go up to the Canyon Club and see them, and then afterward tell her how I fucking mailed 1,000 postcards when she married the guitar.
Yeah.
MTV did a contest to go to Hawaii to Pat Benatar's wedding. And I was so deranged at 18, 19.
Really?
I thought I was going to win the wedding.
That's I would never have guessed.
I wrote postcards for a week. I thought I had it locked in.
I love that Hell is for Children, right?
Oh, that whole album. Pat Benatar's Crime of Passion.
Awesome.
And the second one. The second one and the third one are fucking... His guitar work is tremendous.
That guy's great. But her, too. Like, you better run. Is that it? You better hide.
The video with her with the white and black T-shirt on, that's it. You better run. She had a white and black T-shirt on. Oh.
So hot, man. Yeah, that was my first band, and, you know, you just kind of, you're gigging and you're rocking, you're playing keg parties and shit, and you're learning. It's funny to think about, like, where I am now in life was all because of that back then, yeah? All
It was like getting you ready for today.
That's it, man. Keg parties. You know, whatever. Whatever it was, a fucking, you know, high school.
How similar are the businesses?
Comedy, music business is a complete robbery.
Yeah, now because of stealing and stuff.
Let me tell you, I did that movie with Ice Cube. The day I got home, there were checks in my mailbox from the movie. You try to get music money, forget it. It would come 4 times a year, and that was only if you had some guy that could fucking hound down your money. Or else you just played free. It's always been like that. You know what I mean? Like, hey, where's our royalties? Oh, we sent them out. No, you didn't. Well, we'll go to accounting and we'll call you back. And then, you know, months later, where's our money? Movies, it blew my mind because each week you're working, on the Monday, the fucking check's in there. So I was like, this is incredible. There's actually money here. I mean, I have no manager, no agent. They could easily just said, thanks, man. What am I going to do? You know what I mean? Everyone would do their first 10 movies free. You know what I mean? A movie with Ice Cube, they go, hey, you want to do it free? You'd go, yeah, fuck yeah, I want to do it free.
The music stories I have heard have been just mind-boggling.
Yeah,
Black Sabbath not getting checks. You know, Rudy Sarzo was here last week talking about it, how, you know, you want money? Fuck, we ate all the mothballs. I guess we're going to have to start the motherfucking Kit Kats and shit.
Not a bad choice.
This fucking edible's on fire, Lisa. How you feeling, buddy?
I'm pretty fucking stoned.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
You know, the music stories I've heard are just, you know, the guy from CCR.
Yeah. Oh,
he
yeah.
got robbed. You know, Ozzy. I mean, just, you know, I remember years ago talking to somebody who was opening up for somebody like you, like 10 years ago. He lived in the building with it. This kid didn't even have money for rent, and I asked him, I go, you're on a tour with Jane's Addiction? Aren't you making money? He goes, no, we're paying back the first album.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're taking all the money for the first album.
Well, I talk about it a lot on my podcast. It's a loan. You sign a record deal. And Rudy Sarzo and I were talking about how fucking funny this is. It's the only loan that when you pay back, you don't own it still. So they loan you the money to make the record. say they loan you $250,000. You have to pay that back. Then once you pay it back, you start getting residuals, royalties from your record. But you don't own your record, which is hilarious.
So what's the point of an album then if they don't pay for recording costs? Isn't that the point of...
Well, your point is you hope it sells so you can go out on the road and sell T-shirts and tickets and make money from T-shirts and tickets. Shirt cost you $2 to make. These fuckers are selling them for like $65, $55 a T-shirt. Anyway, you don't own the records. So you're locked into a 7-album deal. It's 3 for sure, unless they don't like you. If your first record doesn't sell, they just drop you. But if it does sell, you're locked into them for 7, or 3, whatever you signed. And it's all alone, always. So the genius of these bands that made it through, like Metallica and Soundgarden and Jack White and Josh, from Queens, all these guys now, they can put their own records out because they have a draw that'll buy them, and they're making way more money than they did when they were on a record label, on a big record label.
So how does U2 give their CD away to everybody with iTunes?
Well, U2 is at a situation where nobody's buying records. They know it. So they're like, it backfired on them, but they thought this will make us look like heroes. We're U2, the big money machine. We're going to give you our record. But then the way they did it, nobody liked it because it felt like, you invaded my phone, which I understand. But what it really did was open your eyes to, like, anybody can just go into your phone.
Shows you how much access they have to it.
Yeah, of course. If you think you have anything that's not accessed, like your internet or your fucking, anytime you click on porn, they could just whatever. I mean, there's so many people, nobody cares what you're doing unless it's a serious crime. But, that's why it backfired on them, And also, I didn't think the record was that good.
That was the biggest complaint. You put shitty music in my fucking mailbox. You put shit in my mailbox. It'd be good. Put a picture of some pussy in there, something. You're not going to show up with bad fucking music.
You know what would have been awesome? If they would have sent you their library. Here's all our records, and by the way, the new one's in there too. They would have looked like fucking kings.
They've already sold. They already made the money they were going to make.
You would have got Octung Baby. You would have got Joshua Tree. You would have got Unforgettable Fire or whatever. Could you imagine if they did that? Here's our catalog. Thank you for being our fans for years. You would have just been like, fuck, what a bunch of kings. You know what I mean? And then you would have got the new one. You wouldn't have said anything. You would have got, and I got the new one. It's not bad.
I was a big music fan growing up. It's all you have.
Yeah.
For certain people, it's all you have. And I went to everything. I went to James Brown. I went to all genres. Pat Benatar. I went to see Tom Petty with the chick from fucking Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
In '83.
Stevie Nicks.
I went to all this shit as a kid, and I believed in it, And,
me too.
And then you hear all this shit, and then I'm still a fan. I mean, it doesn't make a difference to me, but then you get in this business here, and it's like you look behind the curtain a little bit.
Yeah.
And now you understand the stories. You understand Don Arden telling his daughter that Ozzy Osbourne's dead. He's worthless. He's a piece of shit. We've already robbed him for everything. I mean, they robbed them,
Left him in the Sunset Marquee to die.
Sunset Marquee to die. And I remember when I first got here, my first real job was a video for John Fogerty.
Yeah.
I got it at the Comedy Stores. I was walking out when they wanted a couple tough-looking guys. I went there the next day as a director of Barbed Wire, and I got to sit at lunch with John Fogerty. I didn't bother him. And he just was talking to everybody, and that was the whole thing, that he didn't get any residuals for all those songs with CCR. Something fucking outrageous. Like, you sit there and go, what are you saying?
Guy took all his money. He owned Fantasy Records. He's the guy that did the Godfather soundtrack. And that was the big war with his brother. His name is Sals Van Zandt, I think. There's a song that Fogerty did, I Don't Dance for Sal or something. But his brother died of AIDS, and on his deathbed, him and his brother never talked again because he took the side of Sals Van Zandt or whatever. And so on his deathbed, Fogerty said, fuck it, I'm going to go see him. I got to fucking end this. And he went to his deathbed, and his brother said, "I'm still on Sal's side." And he just said, "Oh, motherfucker." And just walked out, you know. Can you believe that, man? That's an interesting story, man. I think the main problem is when you're fucking hungry and a guy comes along and says you want to make records and be famous, you sign anything. And then, because you're thinking you're signing away nothing. Who cares? I got nothing now. I'm going to go into the studio and make a record.
Have you ever signed anything bad?
I didn't. I got lucky because over the years of stories, I was pretty like sharp on it. I wasn't like the cocaine guy of like, yeah, rock and roll and just sign anything. I was like, yeah, rock and roll, but let's look at this for a minute. You know what I mean? So, and also I never sold enough records to know about getting ripped off. You have to get to a level first to get ripped off. You know how many bands signed deals and didn't do anything? You know what I'm saying? They're not going to get ripped off. There's nothing there. You have to get to a big level, and then you get ripped off.
You know, the music industry also gave me the dream to be a comic, because you read about, you know, Alanis Morissette putting out an album and it dies, and then, you know, you read about the Sheryl Crow's putting out an album and the album dies and the record label dumps her and she moves to Vegas and starts jamming with some guys, and we got Sheryl Crow back on the fucking map. You know, I remember seeing Sheryl Crow doing a free concert in Boulder, opening up for like local guys, bands in the area, and 6 months later, next thing you know, she was fucking headlining or theaters, you know. You know, all I want to do is have some fun. It was amazing. I saw it. I saw her in March, and then in October, there she is, fucking at the Fox Theater headlining it for, you know, that's how quick, you know. So that little dream from music, you know, Ozzy Osbourne was dead. He hooks up with Randy Rhoads. The first album is a monster.
Of Oz, man.
It's a fucking monster. I'm there April 12th at the Palladium with my buddies. Yeah, and so you learn. That's listening to those stories always kept my dream alive for comedy. I think that was the main reason that helped me stick it out. You hear about all those, you know, singers that are dead, and, you know, Joe Lynn Turner.
Yeah.
Joe Linguido, whatever his real name is. What's up, Lee? You're all fucked up. Where's Tony Bennet, cocksucker?
Oh, shit.
You're slipping. You didn't play Tony Bennet last week either.
Yes, I did.
The Church of What's Happening Now, Monday night with Dean Delray. A beautiful fucking Monday night. A little Tony Bennet for you, cocksuckers. Slow things down a little bit. Oh, shit. Lee, look at the shape. You gonna eat this fucking last piece?
No.
You're not even high, cocksucker.
Don't be silly.
You're not even high. I told you, that's a new chef.
Well, he's putting the same amount of weed in it.
Keep it low. It's beautiful today.
Where do I piss? Right there?
We're going to split this last piece.
No, we're not.
Yes,
It's just outside.
Which way out?
Left. Now people know where our bathrooms are. How's that candy, buddy?
Which one?
I don't know. I like Kit Kats, but I haven't had malted balls for a while. Or malt balls, whatever you call them.
Let me give some shout outs here where my main man is taking a piss there. I love you guys. Garrett Richardson, thank you very much for the card. I meant I was going to bring it and read it for Lee, but I forgot it. Cleo, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Cleo.
I'm happy you enjoyed your present. Somebody hit me up a couple days ago and said they want to give Cleo something nice. There was a GoFundMe account, and Lee and I donated a little something from the church, and we're family, so this is how we do it. Cleo, we love you. Don, thank you again for the Don San, thank you for the kind words. I hope you're Chinese or Japanese. I don't know what the fuck you are, but you made sense. Kareem Ismail, Sean Toner, I love you, cocksucker. Bobby Sharoon, and Tony B. Ferguson. I hope the piece is on. I hope no black people are jumping up and down. I hope a lot of shit ain't going on in Ferguson. How was that pee, okay?
It was awesome.
Sometimes you gotta let that fucking spout open up and shit crack-a-lax.
Well, what's weird is I can drink about 1,000 iced teas and not have to piss.
But water cleans you right the fuck out. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. It's a natural.
Right? Shit's a fucking.
So, what was the band that you went on tour with other bands with? That's this one here, Blacktop.
Yeah,
Two-lane Blacktop.
It was a combination of Two-Lane Blacktop and then my solo career, Dean Delray. That record right there, you were talking about Sheryl Crow. Linda Perry signed the band to Interscope from Four Non Blondes, who now, she wrote some of the biggest songs for Pink and Christina Aguilera. But remember, she had that, "What's Going On?"
Yeah.
So that's her label there, Rockstar Records. And we did a record with Bill Bottrell, who did those Sheryl Crow first 2 records. And then the band disintegrated, and I went solo, and from there on, just played nonstop rock and roll, man. Like Springsteen style, Black Crowes, that kind of music. You know?
No AC/DC? You got a tattoo of Bon Scott? You didn't do a little soul strip or nothing?
When I was young, I did a tribute to Bon every year on the day he died called The Church of Bon Scott. Every year, do an entire AC/DC run. Every year, but that would be pretty much my AC/DC. Early on, I would play one song a gig. Usually it was Jailbreak. Gonna make a J. That's a great one, right? Last week I played with Marin at the Baked Potato. Remember I told you to come, and I did Let There Be Rock with the band. That was awesome. First time I sang with the band in years since I started comedy. 5, 6, 7 years.
That's one of my all-time favorite albums is Power Rage.
Yeah, that's a great
one. Of my all-time favorite fucking albums. I always steal them from radio stations out of respect. When they leave me in a room for a while and I see they got AC/DC, they got Power Rage, it's going home with Papa. I love Let There Be Rock. Highway to Hell, people just don't get it. This new generation of life just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
To me, Walk All Over You and Touch Too Much, Bon Scott is just sensational, but Angus fucking takes over. I mean, just Power Rage. I remember we were talking about Things from England because the first AC/DC album came in 2 different albums.
Yeah.
So the American one doesn't have Soul Stripper on it. It only came out in Australia or the UK. So we would have to go up there. That's what we were talking about with Rudy. Rudy's good friends with them.
Right.
It's in Jersey where we're from. Rudy's went to Memorial. So there's a store, Things from England, and I went there. I could call him and say, I need 2 tickets for Ozzy. And he would get me the 2 tickets.
Right.
And you paid him a vig, whatever the fuck it was. But I just love everything AC/DC. Do I like Brian Johnson? I tolerate Back in Black.
Right.
I don't like listening to it anymore because you had to be around in 1980. I heard that album at every party. That was it. There was a time where every place you went, dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun, and I would lose my fuck. Like I can't hear it. When I'm listening to a radio and I hear Back in Black, for 2 minutes I get happy, then I switch it.
Yeah.
You want to impress me, bitch? Put on Problem Child. Put on Squealer. Put on fucking Rock and Roll Dalmatian. Anything but that fucking Back in Black album. For those who suck the cock, we salute you. Again, I shoplifted that album from Pathmark in North
I love that record, man.
I like 2 songs. It was funny because once I started doing my thing when I was like 19, I got less and less into the concerts. But I saw everybody. I seen the Scorpions and Rainbow.
Yeah.
I saw the Scorpions. Was it with Rainbow the one year in '82? Blackout?
On the Blackout album? I saw that tour, but Jovi opened. At my tour,
really?
On like a 7800 Fahrenheit or whatever, his first record.
Yeah.
They had that song.
Runaway.
Yeah. Ooh, she's a little runaway.
That was,
they opened on that.
Never saw Bon Jovi.
Wow, I've seen him 3 times. It's funny because Jovi gets a lot of flack and stuff, but fuck, man, those songs. He wrote a lot of songs. You know what I mean? And he's kind of like a survivor. He took some shit job as a janitor at the studio and then tracked at night in it and wrote that Runaway song and then fucking came out and worked it, It's funny when you're on the road like you, and you go to these towns, or I've been all around the world, you go to these cities like where Def Leppard's from or Jovi, and you're like, hey man, these fucking guys came out of here. You know what I mean? Like, how? Like when I go to Sheffield, England, and think Def Leppard was in this old shit steel town, and they played rock.
Where's Judas Priest from? Same place with Sabbath is from.
Yeah, same thing, you know.
I forget.
Like Birmingham.
Birmingham, England,
like,
yeah.
And they describe those places. And then you go, even right now, if you go to fucking Birmingham, you're like, this place is a dump. You know, they got out of here and they fucking made it, man. We're not talking about a band that started in New York or L.A. We're talking about some fucking toenail on the continent and they got out. It's so weird to me, you know, when you play the Stone Pony and you go, this is like Bruce land right here, you know, and you're in Asbury Park and it's like an old shit rundown amusement park that's gone with a faded Pee-wee golf there.
It's fucking crazy.
It's crazy, and there's nothing there. It looks like atomic bomb went off, except Stone Pony and then a couple things. You go, wait, this is Asbury Park?
I only went to the Stone Pony one time, but I used to go to the Asbury Park Convention Center.
Yeah.
I think I saw Priest there one time.
That place right there on the wall.
Oh,
yeah, that place is great,
right?
In
fact, Jim Florentine tells a great story on Metal Midgets about going to see Leopard there. And I went to that concert. For a while, you would go to concerts and somebody would always light a smoke bomb.
Yeah.
And people would freak out. And he told the story about lighting a smoke bomb and running out. It was him. They threw him out. And he had red eyes. He had to call his mother because he was 14. That was us. Concerts were the biggest release, you know?
They were, man. Without them, I'm dead.
And now I don't
no
go,
doubt
and
about
I
it.
feel fucking terrible. My wife had tickets for me to go see Nine Inch Nails and whatever, but I had surgery the next day, and I was like, fuck. And I wanted to go, but I thought about the Hollywood Bowl, and it's a fucking hike up hills, and you got a fucking park on the bottom, and here I am with a busted meniscus walking up a fucking hill, and then if you got to pee, God forbid, you got to walk down the hill and pee and walk back up the fucking hill. I went to see the Stones there. I left after 3 songs.
I was on that tour.
I was smoking cigarettes, and I had a monkey in my pocket.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about the Stones. I watched 3 songs. I love them to death. I had already seen them in 78 and 81. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Enough. I'm out.
Some Girls Tattoo You.
Some Girls
That's
Tattoo You.
Great albums, man.
Some Girls in Philly.
Yeah. They recorded that.
With Foreigner.
Yeah, with who? Foreigner. Yeah.
Foreigner.
Fucking great. I just said on my podcast last week, Foreigner is underrated, man.
One of the best voices in music, whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah,
I forget
Lou Gramm.
One of the best voices in music.
Head Games, Cold as Ice, Dirty White Boy.
The first album.
Unbelievable.
The first album, It Was a Monday, a day like any other day. All that shit.
Fucking great.
It's tremendous.
This band is great, man. They're an American treasure, man. Or where? I don't even know where they're from.
No, they're from England. He's English, Lou Gramm.
They're like an American rock and roll band, though. The sound is classic rock.
You know who I love? You know who still... I love Zeppelin. I love AC/DC. I love Sabbath with all my heart. But one of the best bands of all time to me, and he is the greatest voice in rock. He's up there with Freddie Mercury. It's Bad Company.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that he was the only singer they considered replacing Jim Morrison when he died.
Right.
I don't even think he had Free yet.
Free is unbelievable.
But I watched it a couple years ago when he sang for Queen at the VH1 Rock Awards, and he did the song Must Go On.
Yeah.
And he's got a wig now.
Yeah.
He's got a fucking wig.
Yeah, he does have that wig.
But he's built. He's a karate expert. He's a black
belt. He's got a
belt.
body, and he always wears a tank top.
That's why they broke up, because he kicked Kirk in the fucking mouth. He broke his jaw with a kick. A lot of Kirk. What's the guy's name? The guitar player from Bad Company. Good one. Simon Kirk. Simon Kirk. He broke one of their fucking jaws. Either him or the other guy. Don't quote him. I went to Desolation Angels in '78. When I came back from 5-star basketball camp, as soon as I got my buddies like, get in the car, we'll go to Nassau Coliseum. And the fucking drummer did something then. The lights went out and the drumsticks glowed in the dark. And we had eaten like acid or mescaline or something. My head almost fucking blew up. But I remember that he was one thing I didn't understand about live music was something you said. You said that, when you see somebody in a studio, they sing like that. And then when you see him live, you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
He was to the T.
He still is right now.
Just like the guy from Priest. That Solar Angels time.
Rob Halford.
Solar Angels. And when he did Victim of Changes live, you'd be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Because towards the end, Ozzy Osbourne supposedly had like a back singer in the back that would sing from. I don't think he's doing on this tour. I heard this tour, Sabbath, is just fucking tremendous.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard Jim Norton a couple days ago. I listened to Jim Norton a lot. I love Jim, and I love Jim Florentine. Florentine's a friend of mine, and Don Jameson, and you know, sometimes I'll be like, "Hey, man, I don't know, the singing's just not there anymore," and they just completely deaf ear me. Like, no, man. No, they were great. You know, I'm like, oh, come on, man. We saw them. But Norton said something funny a couple days ago. It was awesome. He said, yeah, they don't play Symptom of the Universe anymore, Sabbath. And he goes, I think because Ozzy can't hit the notes. And he goes, I don't care, though. Sing it shitty. If I want it perfect, I'll put on the record. I just want to hear the song. And I was like, that's a fucking pretty cool outlet, because I used to be kind of negative on it, you know, like, man, the singing's horrible. But now I'm just like, well, they're there, you know, and once these bands are gone, they're gone. You know what I mean? What are we going to see? There's not going to be anybody we're going to go see.
So what do you guys think about lip syncers then? Like when there's always like a lip syncing catastrophe for something every 6 months. Like Ashley, whatever, and are you negative about it, or would you rather they just do that?
I don't want to see somebody fucking lip sync.
I think it's the fucking crime of the business.
But then people would pay $250 to see Britney Spears lip sync. I get it. I get it when somebody jumps up and down at the beginning of the tour and they're out of shape. I get it when Janet Jackson starts her tour in Denver, that when she first starts the tour, she's singing 15% of the tour. By the middle of the tour, she's handling it to 85%. It's a little music because she moves around. I get that. But I don't want to fucking see Robert Plant lip syncing.
No.
You know, Led Zeppelin never did a TV performance because they maintained a certain patois of what they were going to do and what they weren't going to do. I'm going to give some sponsors a shout out, so I'm going to get back to you on something here real important. First off, as usual, motherfucking on it, especially now for the holiday season. Tell that freak you're dating, tell your mom, your grandfather, you want to be a strong mental fucking savage. Go to Onnit.com. It all starts off with Alpha Brain. Money back guarantee when you want the fucking product back. That's how much we believe in the fucking product, okay? Number 2, Shroom Tech. It's the winter season. You're flying. You're on trains. You're hanging out with all these fucking foreigners, eating hummus and shit. You don't need that aggravation. Take the fucking Shroom Tech so you're covered. No Ebola. What else does Onnit have? Onnit has beautiful kettlebells. Onnit has battle ropes. Onnit has so many things going on. They have that MCI juice with the coconut so you can flavor your smoothies and whatnot. Go to Onnit.com right now. See what they got. Treat yourself for Christmas. Be a good friend to yourself, cocksuckers. Go to Onnit and press
Church
in the motherfucking box and get 10% off. That's how we run.
They could get Stay On It for somebody for Christmas.
And you get Stay On It. They don't have to leave the fucking house. The pills get delivered right to their house, okay? Number 2, I want to give a tremendous shout out to Iron Dragon TV. I fucking opened it up with my wife the other day. I love what these guys are doing. Listen, you're going to get home some night. There's not going to be nothing on your 150 fucking direct TV that you're paying. Smoke a number. Do a few bunks. It's all the Chinese to go. Go on Iron Dragon TV. Watch what they got. You know what? Open up with this. Get 2 free movies. What do they get?
They get 2 free rentals, and we press Joey.
And Joey for 2 free ones. They got the Ip Man series. They got the Chow Yun Fat. They got Dennis Chan. They got shit you don't even know fucking exists. This is why. If you're a martial art enthusiast, you like people flying through the air, Japanese people stabbing each other, IronDragonTV.com. Go there right now. Stop fucking around. Do a bong hit. Go get your 2 free movies. 2 free fucking movies. These guys got big things coming on. The 4K comes out in January. You ready for the fucking 4K? No. Iron Dragon TV's fucking ready. Go to IronDragonTV.com now. Get your 2 free movies on the Roku. Why are you fucking around looking at me, all right? What do I got to press in the box, Lee? Joey, Joey. Get your 2 free fucking movies today. It's the holidays. You're going to sit there Thanksgiving with your thumb up your ass. After the game, your grandfather's going to tell you about World War II. Whatever the fuck. You know what, Gramps? It's time for Iron Dragon TV shit. Shitbird. Sit down, watch a kung fu movie, and let yourself go. Hit it. Listen, it's the holiday season. You're sitting there smoking like a chimney. You sound like you got emphysema in your asshole. Stop fucking around. Go to HitE6.com. Get your lungs back, cocksucker, like I did. Right here. Boom! A cigar. HitE6. 1,200 guaranteed hits. You want to quit smoking cigarettes? I got a 24 milligram, 16 and 8 and a 0. Work yourself. In 1 month, I'm going to stop smoking cigarettes. I don't need to smell like a fucking dick breath no more. I don't need to smell like I ate somebody's asshole for 12 hours. You're a fucking savage. You want to pick up chicks, you want to eat pussy, and then not have an itchy fucking snatch for 2 weeks. That's how you do it. You got nicotine in your mouth. You eat that little monkey, they start chiseling. You don't need that shit. Go to HitE6.com right now. Take a look at the flavors. Take a look at the selection. Just this alone, the cigars, the holiday season. You want to tell people bullshit stories and blow smoke in their face. This is the fucking e-cigar for you. Go to HitE6.com right now and press in.
Joey's Church.
Oh, shit. And what do they get, Lee?
They get 20% off.
20% off. Who's giving you that? You got to go stand online and smell armpits and bump into fat people getting blenders and shit to make milkshake. You don't have to leave the fucking house. Black Friday could suck my dick, and it's sucking your dick, too. If I find out you're out there fucking around with these people, I'm disowning you, cocksucker. Go to HitE6.com right now. See a selection they got. Start the new year off smokeless, cocksucker. Blowing vapor in his eyeball. What are they pressing the box?
Joey's Church.
There you go. Nailed it life. I don't know what to tell you about these guys. The best vapor fucker. You want to smoke wax? You want to do all that crazy shit? You want to burn out and listen to Black Sabbath, Symptom of the Universe? Go to naileditlife.com. See what they got to offer you. They got the best vapor pen in the market. They're going to give you 20% off. So it's $50. They're going to give it to you for $40. That's number one. Number two, you got a problem with it or something, you call Dave. Boom! You got the piece the next day. That's not all what they got. They're also the inventor of the gummy bears. You want to die and see Lucifer's dick? Take a gummy bear, 250 milligrams of fucking heavy-duty THC wax. I don't even know what they put in there.
And the peanut brittle.
And the peanut brittle. Ari said he ate it and did something the other day. It's fucking tremendous.
He did it on his podcast.
There you go. Go to naileditlife.com and press in.
Joey Diaz.
Oh, shit, and get 20% off your first vapor pen sent right to your house. Why are you fucking around staring at me? Do it now, cocksuckers. Again, on it, IronDragonTV.com, HitE6.com, and Nailed It Life. Yeah. Let's talk about something here before we close this motherfucker up. I think I was into the Doors first. Little songs on the radio, 10cc, I'm not in love. And then one day I heard this explosion. And there was an album called Led Zeppelin 2. I went to a party in somebody's basement. And I'm listening to Heartbreaker, and I don't know, my heart just stopped. What is this? Led Zeppelin. God damn it. This is the last band I wanted to fucking like, you know? I went home and I put on Led Zeppelin 2. I bought it, and that's it. It changed my life. I had stolen a fucking thing with the 4 speakers, 2 that came with it, and then we wired up Puerto Rican rig, 2 extra speakers so you could hear a whole lot of love.
Quadraphonic sound.
Quadraphonic sound. And then I bought Led Zeppelin 3, and then you buy the fucking Zeppelin 1, and then you buy 4, and then you buy presents, and then I buy Into the Outdoor. I wait a whole year, and you know, when my mother died, it was the second hit because the first guy that hit was Bonham. It hit me. I couldn't take that many knocks. I was at this restaurant. These guys are mobsters now. Moff and Joe. They had a fucking egg sandwich place, and that's where I was when Led Zeppelin was about to go on sale.
Yeah.
And he died. This guy at WPLJ in New York was about to announce the fucking dates. And this guy dies. And I buy the albums, and I smoke dope, and I listen to Led Zeppelin. I work out on Led Zeppelin. Everything I do is around Led Zeppelin. The style of my life is Led Zeppelin. My comedy is Led Zeppelin. I want heavy. Yeah. I don't want no fucking around. I want Achilles' last dance. Dun, dun, bam, bam, bam. We'll talk later. Yeah. Let's blow up the room now. We'll talk later. And then I get older, and I hear all this shit that they're thieves.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do now? Now, I know in my heart, I've seen the YouTube videos. I've seen that they lifted some chords, whatever. Now, 40 years later, the lawsuit's going to move forward.
Right. Against
Led Zeppelin with Stairway to Heaven. They're your favorite band. They're my favorite band. How am I supposed to feel? Anybody? How am I supposed to feel? Do I stop listening to them? Yeah. But then I put an album on that's called The Song Remains the Same, which is a live album. And unless you're fucking retarded or you're a stupid motherfucker, once you listen to that album, you realize two things. A, that is probably the greatest live performance that any musical band has done. I listened to Robert Plant on the Power. Remember that old radio station that had the Power Flower Hour?
Oh, yeah.
On Sunday nights.
King Flower.
King Flower Power Hour. And he said that, the second night in the Garden, Jimmy Page did everything to that guitar that a human could do except give it head.
Yeah.
He just destroyed it. And when you listen to the album, and I know that you can't steal that talent.
Yeah.
And I know that you can't steal Achilles' Last Stand. And I know you can't. When I listen to No Quarter, when I listen to Dazed and Confused, and I listen to the improvising, and then I watch it on VH1. Whenever it's on VH1,
sit down.
It's on. It's done. Whatever the fuck you told me, Shark Tank, whatever my wife is watching, I don't give a fuck, except Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Fast forward through Moby Dick.
Yeah.
If you go to my house right now, the song remains the same as on my DVR.
Fucking
and whenever I get down, I just put on a whole lot of love. One night, I believe I told you this before. All that shit to me, you can't steal.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to think?
Well, the way I look at it is when they start out on Zeppelin 1 and 2, they're like all those bands in England, man. They're like a blues acid rock band. You understand? Like, you're playing blues. Like, Clapton, all those guys, Cream and stuff. They're playing like white man's blues, And I think it's more of like, they don't look at it as like they're stealing. They're playing what they're influenced by. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like comics. When you see them, they first start out, you go, oh, this guy's doing Dice. You don't know what...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Until you find your voice.
And then you find your voice. So you're talking about Jimmy Page, who played on everyone's records as a session guy. And he's been playing since he was...
The Yardbirds, the Stones.
All that shit.
He's on...
The Who.
He's on... What Stone album is he on? I got it in the car. Dun, 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 the Sleepy City.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 it looks so pretty. That one.
Yeah.
My buddy just bought it for me and gave it because I said if it's there, something Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the.
Everybody's on it.
Yeah.
Plant is on it. A couple people on it.
But the thing is, so he's playing blues his entire life. Then they're going to do a record. They're just... there's like, like AC/DC's like 3 chords. That's blues rock too. If you slowed it down, it's like dun 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 dun. Speed it up, it's dun 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 dun. In the beginning, that's a fucking blues progression. You know what I'm saying? Of course, these guys are like, well, they're doing Howlin' Wolf and he's doing this, Muddy Waters. But the thing is, everybody was playing blues back then. And then you start to find your thing by, Zeppelin 3. It's like, holy shit, going to California, that's Zeppelin, all that stuff is Zeppelin to me. So I think it's like, of course it's going to
sound... Like Diamaker's clip.
Yeah.
Just like two, and that's one of my favorite albums of all time. I told somebody I wouldn't listen to No Quarter. Yeah. When I bought that album, I would skip over No Quarter.
I love No Quarter.
That's how young I was and immature.
Yeah.
It scared me. It was too heavy.
Yeah.
When I first got Master Reality, I didn't listen to it. I bought it. I put it on one night. The Exorcist was on TV.
Oh.
I put earphones on. I listened to Master Reality, and I was snorting THC.
You're going
crystal,
double Satan there.
which is fucking angel dust, basically. And I'm watching all this going on. I'm like, I'll never hear this album again. Then it took me 2 or 3 years to put Into the Void on and go, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now we're on to something, but No Quarter at first.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Skip that motherfucker. Go right to the ocean, bitch.
But isn't it more common with music than comedy? Like, in music, people buy songs that other people have written. So it's not like they're stealing, but they just didn't pay the royalties, or is it actually like they're stealing and
chords or something? And then
later they gave them credit on the records. I think it was early on. Early on they probably just thought that, of course we're playing blues, but everybody is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, music I have less of a problem with than I would with comedy. I think I don't know why.
Listen, when I heard that song by that fucking guy, I knew he robbed fucking Marvin Gaye. As soon as I heard that song by Robin Whip, whatever, Robin Thicke.
Oh, yeah.
In the night. As soon as I heard that song, didn't take a genius to know they had to pay somebody. That was sampled or clipped. Yeah. Okay? Is that a fucking mouse over there?
Where?
No. Did it bother me? No, it didn't bother me. I love Marvin Gaye, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a weird thing. I mean, you know, what are you gonna do? To me, I think that Jimmy Page was there in the fucking birth of that shit. Of course, he wasn't an old black blues player, you know, but he played blues his entire life. It wasn't like he just came in and learned a style and then went, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be blues rock. Guy played blues all his life.
You know,
played that skibble or whatever before. That weird playing. You ever see him when he's like 13 on TV? Playing some fucking... Yeah,
he's been playing guitar all his fucking life, that guy.
Yeah.
You know, but as comics, if somebody's stealing jokes, we avoid them.
Oh, yeah,
We don't call them out. I just avoid them because I know I'm just smacking them, so they know. So why wouldn't we avoid Zeppelin? Like guys like you and me. I can't. I love it. To me... Yeah. If they stole something, they made it better. They took it with confidence. This last lawsuit kind of threw me off a little bit.
Yeah.
To me, it's always been one of the greatest songs of all time.
Yep.
One of the greatest solos of all time. Every time I hear it, it brings a tear to my eye.
Solo's insane.
You know, hands down to me. Again, you know, if you put on the song, it's the same. That's where I take my... That's a live performance at the hardest venue in the world. There's no harder venue, and when you watch it, you see that the people are hypnotized. You know, I got to see Robert Plant, Jimmy Page later on, 94,
I saw that
95.
too. 96, yeah.
Who gives a fuck? You know, it wasn't Led Zeppelin to me. I was happy.
That's why I'm glad they never get back together now. It's never going to live up to what you and I want it to be. Ever. We're good with the memories.
I'm solid. I'm
me
good
too.
to go. You know,
good
this morning I woke up and I wanted to play this and this and this, but I kept hearing the opening chord of Achille. Look at my Facebook and Twitter. That's what I put on this morning.
Yeah.
It's just a Monday type of song. It was an early morning when they told us we should know.
That song is a punch in the face. It's one of the most electric songs that you hear. You just go, what the fuck, man? And especially when they're playing it at Nebworth in 78. They play like 79 or where they play Nebworth. They're kind of, after 77, they lay dormant. Then they're working on In Through the Outdoor, and they haven't played in like 3 years or whatever it is. Then they go do 2 warm-up shows in Nebworth.
And they also open up in the evening?
Yeah, and they're playing Achilles' Last Stand.
And that designer clothing on and shit.
And
Stop it! Stop it!
Yeah, with those fucking weird suit pants and shit. But Jimmy Page weighs about 32 pounds in that. And he is murdering Achilles' Last Stand. He looks like he's possessed. He's on heroin, full-blown addiction there, and he's killing it, like beyond. I love it, man. It's fucking insane.
Only some people know about that Nebworth stuff.
That shit's fire, Nebworth. Nebworth is fire.
You know, I heard the story of, I always talk about, what would have happened is a great question. If here's what I got to deal with. What would have happened if Leonard Skinner would have lived?
Let's see. There's only 2 bands I didn't see: Skinner and Zeppelin.
How different would life have been? What direction? All those bands, Molly Hatchet.
Yeah.
All those bands would have carried over because we couldn't. I mean, Leonard Skinner was way ahead of their time.
Yeah.
But I heard a story of them going to Nebworth and just blowing out the stone.
Yeah, you seen it? You can watch it on YouTube.
You watch it. They have like a little hat on, and they're doing Saturday Night Special.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there going, oh my fucking God. They're in the spectrum of music, and they're just killing it.
Yeah. I think that's Nebworth also.
Yeah, Nebworth. Yeah.
And they play... One of the most spectacular... I grew up in the Bay Area, and my whole music life I owe to Bill Graham. Everything, my life I owe to that guy, because he had these visions of these crazy shows where he'd put, fucking all these different bands on, and that's how you got to learn about so much different music. But Skinner played Day in the Green, and those are my favorite shows ever, Day in the Green. I talk about it over and over and over because it really fucked me up. But if you punch in on YouTube, Skinner, Day in the Green, Freebird, you're not going to see anything more rocking than that. It's insane. It's It's 77.
Oh.
It's 60,000 people, and they started up, and he's like, play it pretty for Oakland. That's what he says. And Ronnie with the no shoes on, burning up feet on the stage with that fucking hat on and the Neil Young shirt on, because, he had that, hope Neil Young will remember. And there he is, killing it, and you just go like, that is fucking rock right there, And Zeppelin played their last 2 shows in Oakland Coliseum, 77. Last 2 ever in America. That's the ones where Peter Grant and his thug guy beat up one of the guy's dads there because the kid's pulling the Led Zeppelin sign off the dressing room, and Peter Grant's like, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of here. And the dad comes, and they pull him in the dressing room and just beat him almost to death. And then
I love this shit.
Bill Graham's like, look, man, we can't cancel him because it's going to get fucking crazy here. So Peter Grant knows that they beat that guy up. So he goes, you got to come over here and sign this paper saying you won't sue us before we go back over there. They sign off on the paper. They play the next show. And then the next day, Plant's kid dies. Like haunting in New Orleans. They're supposed to play New Orleans or whatever. He goes home. And then the tour's canceled. And then they don't play till 80 again. They do 13 shows in 80. And then Bonzo dies, and that's it. That's it. A lot of people say that band was haunted. 75, Plant got in a bad car crash, canceled that tour. His son died in 77,
Carrick.
Yeah, just crazy shit.
And they always said the inside cover of... That's why I never understood, because House of the Holy came out way before the son died.
Yeah, right.
But they said the inside of the cover is him giving his son up. They had so many fucking...
that's all like twisted drive shit.
They had so many devil shit that they had in references. Now, before we get the fuck out of here, what day did you wake up and go, you know what? I'm going to give this comedy a try.
Man, it was...
It was a Monday, a day like any other day.
It was a small town. I wanted to do comedy. I'm 48. I wanted to do comedy when I was probably 12 years old. I saw Saturday Night Live, first season. I wanted to be John Belushi. I wanted to be that guy. I thought he was an absolute god. He was an outlaw. He did drugs. He fucking drank. He rocked.
He really didn't give a
samurai
fuck.
Sword.
These motherfuckers don't remember that in that case.
No. I watched that shit Saturday night. Stay up, barely awake. Oh, fuck. Falling asleep. Watch it.
We just watched the Blues Brothers somewhere in a green room.
Yeah.
And if you're young and you watch the Blues Brothers, it's just a movie.
Yeah.
But if you know what he was going through at the time and you're watching Belushi, you're like, how the fuck was he keeping it together?
Right.
This
Animal
guy,
House
he
to
was,
me.
Oh, my God.
Animal House is like the fucking epitome of face comedy. The way he could do a face, and you would just die, the eyebrow, that fucking thing where he pops a boner and he falls backwards off the ladder, all that simple
My brother and
shit.
I would do like the what is this, the zit thing?
Yeah, oh yeah,
all around the house.
Yeah. But, I got into that, and then my buddy that turned me on to all the rock had Cheech and Chong, and I was so into that record. I got it now. I got a mint version of it, the one with slide. They're women in the car or whatever, and the drive-in one where they sneak the guys in, First gear, they're like, hey, man, we got the people in the back, Cheech and Chong, and then Pryor, and Carlin. And then later it was Chris Rock and Seinfeld and late 80s, Kinnison and Dice. My buddy dealt coke and he'd go to the store and I'd stroll in and see Dice early on and be like, that guy. Never seen anything like it. Just look at 2 strangers and go, is that your girl? What a whore. You'd be like, whoa, man. And then they would get up, we're out of here. Get out of here, you crying little whore. You know, and that kind of shit. And you're like, whoa, this is gangster. So I always wanted to do comedy. But I was a kid. Kids didn't do comedy. There wasn't like, you know, you don't go to a camp like Laugh Factory Comedy Camp. They didn't have that shit, man. So I played rock and 25 years blew by. Boom. Then I got lucky. I got that Ice Cube movie. This is about six years ago or so. And I'm 2 months in Shreveport sitting in bleachers with Earthquake and Garrett Morris. So not only am I meeting fucking Ice Cube, who I worshipped NWA, I'm looking at the first season Garrett Morris. That fucking guy was on Saturday Night Live when I was a kid. Yeah. Ant-Man. Yeah. I done lived 1,000 times my weight. I don't give a fuck. Get out of here. John Belushi is the Hulk farting, you know? So I sit by Earthquake. Every couple of days I go, hey, I want to do comedy. Like, what do I do? It's like, man, you got to do open mics. Not giving me much. A couple more days go by. What else? You got to write, man. You got to write. Write what? What do I do? Where do I go? Google it, man. Get out of here, you know? But after a month or so, he realized I was really interested in it. He goes, all right, I'll tell you what, man. You do this, you do that, you do this. You get good, come see me at the Comedy Union. I'll put you on. And a year went by. I went on every day.
What was the Comedy Union?
The comedy, the movie?
No.
The Comedy Union.
Oh, the Comedy Union.
Yeah,
okay.
He was doing Wednesday night there. You know, and he goes, you go and do open mics and look me up when you think you're ready. So I looked him up. I went down. Every day, 365. I did not miss a day. Open mic every fucking day. Never missed a day. I looked him up. I knocked on I went down to the union. I go, hey, man, it's me, Dean. He's like, huh? I go, yeah, maybe you told me if I was ready. He's like, I didn't think you were going to do it, man. I mean, I would have told you some real shit. I was just telling you dumb shit out there, bored. But I went on and had a good set, you know, and for, you know, I'm on my 5th year now. I've almost done 2,500 spots, and I don't miss a day. Maybe 10 days out of the 5 years. You know, but every fucking day, everywhere, man. I go to Bakersfield for a shit open mic, 8 minutes. I heard they give you 8 minutes in Bakersfield. I'm there, all on a motorcycle. You know what I mean? Oh, I heard they give you 12 minutes down in the ghetto at this place called the Family Room. No whites in there. I'm going. You know what I mean? They give you fried chicken. You ever done that one?
No.
They're in some house in South Central, man. In a house they cook chicken in, and you do comedy, and if they like you, they throw dollars at you. It's awesome,
I'm going to take lead down there.
You got to go there, man.
No, that sounds terrible.
But I was going everywhere. Still right now, I just did 8 days with Russell Peters, 10,000 people a night. The day I got home, I went to Westwood, to the Irvine, or to the Improv Space, and did an open mic, just to get back on the grounded. That audience isn't mine. You know what I mean? I want to make that audience mine, so I got to keep working, you know? Just grind.
5 years in.
5 years in.
God bless you, man.
Next week, actually, on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, is 2-year anniversary of my name painted on that wall at the store. I got passed November 27th, 2 years ago. And that was, out of my life of doing everything I've done, was the proudest day of my life. When you drive down Sunset Strip, you look to the right, my name's on that wall. Fucking mind-boggling.
I never thought I'd get my name on that wall.
Right? Either. I was there in 88, snorting coke, drinking booze, around those names. I didn't think I was ever even going to do comedy. There I am.
I didn't think any of this shit was going to happen. I didn't think I'd be going to Philadelphia and selling out shows and people telling me that the podcast has changed Lee's life. I didn't think half this shit that's going on right now. You know, you can't imagine this. You just keep... There's one point you come to terms with being here and the things you have to do, and you just put your head down and start doing them, and things pop up. You know, people always say, hey, what do you want me to say about you before I go on stage? Don't say anything.
Yeah.
Say, coming to the stage, Joey Diaz. I'm a stand-up, you know.
Yeah.
Credits don't mean anything at this
point
right now. They really don't, you know. It's been fucking great, man. I'm happy I finally, and this is what really happened, guys. About a year ago, Jordan came up to me, maybe a year and a half ago. Jordan comes up to me and goes, hey, man, you know a lot about music. Why don't you talk to Dean Delray? I go, I don't know fucking Dean Delray. He goes, he says he knows you. I go, listen, what the fuck you want me to tell? I don't know no Dean Delray. I knew you for years.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. I thought your name was Marty. I didn't know why Marty. I was going to tell you the other day. I didn't know why Marty.
Yeah. You haven't made it as a Joey Diaz friend unless you have a nickname like D'Agostino and.
Yeah, I didn't know fucking it was. I thought
Marty Dean Delray.
I get so many guys confused. There's 3 or 4 Eric.
Yeah.
Something. There's a guy that does videos with people. He looks like him. You remind me of him. So when I see, finally I went to the store and all you guys were together. And I go, oh fuck, I've been fucking up for a long fucking time. Because I don't know names, especially now. There's so many kids coming up and guys you don't really know. And then they finally tell you their name one day, then you bump into them and go, oh, it's you. Okay, now I fucking get it. Brother, thank you.
Oh, dude, comedy's saved my life. And between the Death Squad people and Marin and Burr, you, guys like Russell, Ian Edwards. I was 44 years old in Hollywood and played music all my life and stepped off the train. You want to talk about fucking insanity and noises in your head? You're in the Hollywood Hills in a fucking guest house sitting there going, now what? Now what, man? 25 fucking years playing music. What am I going to do? I don't have any friends here. All my people have married and moved on. And then you slowly start to get these friends. And you go, fuck, man, like a guy like you. We're similar age. We love music. I could talk to you for hours.
We could do this till 6 in the morning.
That's what I'm saying. Hours, man. Marin, I could talk to that guy for... he is like music, comedy, all, everything we can talk about. And I'm like, fuck, this is saving me. So I thank you, man, for having me on. 100%.
Oh, please.
I'll do it anytime. And come do mine.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know what days you do it.
I do it any day you want to do.
Okay.
You come over, and you got to come to my house, because if you like Zeppelin, you're going to lose your mind. Red Band came over yesterday, and he's like, I can't fucking believe it. It's a rock museum, my house, of my entire life. You're going to see photos of me with Slash at fucking like 21 years old. Us there. Axel. Me on a Harley at 18 going on some biker run, on fucking meth. Whatever. It's just a history in there.
On meth.
You ever do meth?
Yeah. I done meth, speed. I don't fucking know. I've done it all.
Yeah, just speed.
I did some good speed in West Virginia. I went into the mountains with some dudes to a trailer. I thought they were going to give me a blow. And then I got some good coke in Idaho. Those fucking black people haters, they make some good meth up there.
Idaho's got beautiful women.
Yeah.
What the fuck's up with Idaho? They got the best women. It's like 1988 Playboy, just blondes with real boobs.
Fucking women are getting beautiful and beautiful everywhere. Last week in Portland, there was some beautiful women. There was a redhead who came down from Canada. I was 26. That was beautiful. She hasn't hit me up on Twitter or nothing. Oh my God, she was beautiful. Not that I want to fuck her or not. I can't. I got nothing for her.
Yeah.
I'm just saying she didn't say thank you.
Wait, are you married?
Yeah, married. I got a 2-year-old kid at the house. I'm fucking done. I'm done. This week in Philadelphia at the airport, I seen 2 black girls when I got off the plane that were working there. That were beautiful. Sunday morning, I bought a breakfast burrito from a chick from Ebolaville. Yeah. Like she had the whole get up on.
Yeah.
This chick was fucking hot, beautiful sister. Hot.
Ebolaville get up?
Like Africa. She wasn't from fucking Philadelphia.
Ebolaville.
Yeah, she wasn't from Baltimore or whatever. She was from Ebolaville.
Joey killing me.
That's
have you been to Prague?
No, I don't have a passport. The felonies, they took them away.
Oh, let me tell you.
Why, they got Ebola there?
No.
What do they got in Prague?
Let me tell you something about Prague.
They got women.
The most incredible women, I think, on the planet come from the Eastern Bloc. And Prague is the capital, man. So you got Russia, Budapest, Prague. Prague, everywhere you go. You're at McDonald's, and Anna Kournikova is making your Big Mac. I'm telling you, on the fucking streets, on the hot dog stand, it's Anna Kournikova. You got Anna Kournikova at the fucking Taco Bell. You got her driving the bus. Wherever you go, what the fuck is this, man? Any of them could move to Beverly Hills
and rock this motherfucker.
Meanwhile,
they're making hot dogs for $3 an hour.
Can you believe it?
They don't even know. It's like when you go to Tennessee sometimes. You go up to the hills to some, and you see a blonde, and you're like, that bitch don't know.
Yeah.
But if she went to Sunset and just stood there, there'd be 18 car crashes.
Yeah, a guy would pull up and go, you're rich, get in.
Get in. It's over for you.
Yeah.
This is the last time you're going to be able to walk down the fucking street. You understand me, Lisa? What do you got planned for tomorrow, Lisa?
We have something in the morning, and then just the gym, I think. And then I have Josh Wolf.
You're all fucked up. I love it.
Look,
you're just like,
he ate 10 milligrams. Don't
10 milligrams.
Don't fucking. He's nostalgic and shit.
You do any coke?
No.
No, he doesn't do it. He's a good kid.
How old are you?
26.
Did you ever do any coke?
No, I never was. I barely.
I got
did
some
weed,
ecstasy in
so
the house. I'm gonna spike him a fucking brownie with mushrooms and ecstasy in that motherfucker.
He did that to me already. He gave me mushrooms, and I thought they were weed.
I'm gonna give him a half a hit of ecstasy and put it in like a mushroom brownie and send him home to his little Mexican girlfriend.
Mushrooms are the best.
She's gonna fucking be on a plane to Mexico. This
I've
little
had the
Jew
best
is gonna
times on
sling some
mushrooms.
dick like a savage. You never did some ecstasy and gave somebody a stabbing?
No.
That little dick is gonna get, that little pink head will start going wow, wow. You go home and show that shit to your girlfriend, she'll go fucking bananas. Just tell her, open up wide, say it's over. You understand me?
I want to do some shows with you, man. Like one week and you and I hit San Fran or something.
Okay.
That'd be
good.
dope, right? We just come in there and invade it.
Oh, I was just there, and I'm going to go back up there like in March or April
and do
podcast.
I was tweeting your
That's
shows.
right, that's right. You were somewhere, it's funny. Lee and I had a talk this morning. We're taking the podcast on the road in 2015.
It's great.
We're going to New York, Philadelphia, New Jersey, Chicago, San Francisco, Sacramento, Modesto.
Let me tell
Fuck
you.
yeah.
And San Diego.
My favorite women.
And Las Vegas.
My favorite women are Jersey. Isn't it weird?
Jesus Christ.
I love Jersey women.
And you hook up with them all the time?
I try, but I'm not out there.
You're too nice. And you got to have like a missing fucking eye. And you got to have a union job, a missing eye.
It's that look.
Smoke
that
cigarettes.
Jersey woman look. You know what I mean?
They're beautiful.
I love that. They all have the same look. Like Prague has the same look. I can meet a woman and go, "You're from Jersey." They go, "Oh, how do you know?" It's like
I just like East Coast girls.
Me too. I'm an East Coast girl guy, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, now,
I like classy women that dress nice. They got their own job. I don't need to see your titties and everything hanging out. I like a Sofia Coppola.
You want them to hide those titties. I like when they hide their titties, too.
Yeah, hidden treasures.
I love when they hide their titties. That shows your fucking confidence.
I love
when
that. And they got their own gig.
Tits, yeah. That's a beautiful thing. That turns me on more than a chick that has her fucking cleavage out.
Yeah, I don't need that. I like women with power.
Yeah, me too.
They go, I got my own company. I don't care what you got. I don't need it. If we like each other, it's on. We're a team. We're a power couple.
I like that too, but I found in the East Coast, a lot of girls get like, I fought all the time with all my ex-girlfriends from Boston. I get out here, I haven't fought once with Paula. Like, I don't know if they're more high-strung or maybe I was dating bad ones, but the East Coast ones was fight all the time.
Because you're not eating their asshole.
Yeah.
And now this one don't let you eat her ass, so she don't like it, so you got friends now.
You don't
eat
eat
the East
butt,
Coast,
huh?
I got to bend over and show you
not.
that fucking muffler.
He already said, I go, you don't eat butt? And he goes, I'd rather not.
He'd rather not do anything. I love you, brother. Thank you.
I love you. Thank you, man. Rock and roll.
I want to thank Onnit. I want to thank IronDragonTV.com, HittySigs.com, and Nail the Life. Where are you at next week? You on the road anyway? Want to push it?
Yeah. What do we got here? Oh, I'm going to be in Indianapolis with Russell Peters at Crackers, December 4, 5, and 6. Please.
That was my gig, and Russell bumped me, that cocksucker. Now I'm going in March.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They
because
called
he's getting
me
ready for the Garden. So
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Crackers downtown, not the other one. Please come see me, meet me, and hang out, man.
Tell some rock stories, cocksuckers.
And listen to my podcast, Let There Be Talk, on all things comedy.
And then this Wednesday, we're doing a live podcast. The guest is Joe Rogan. And Thursday, Thanksgiving, we're doing a special fucking thing here at 9 o'clock. We're going to bring some turkey sandwiches.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, and just talk some shit on Thanksgiving night. If you're around, give me a call.
I'll come down. I feed the homeless every year on Thanksgiving at the Laugh Wagon.
Doing.
Yeah.
I can't
but I'll come.
I can't take that shit down there. It drives me crazy.
I tell you what, you get a sore arm.
Yeah.
I always get fucking the mashed potatoes.
No, I want to hit them in the fucking head. They're too fucking picky, and they give you the evil eye. Fuck you. You're getting a free piece of turkey, and you give me fucking attitude. Fuck you. I'm walking out of the house to be nice to you. The one year I went down there, they were, fuck you. You know what? Come by the house. I'll give you a turkey sandwich. I love you. Stay black. Again, to all my sponsors, we love you. One more time to Dean Delray. On it, Iron Dragon TV. HitE6.com and Nailed It Life. Stay black. See you Wednesday night at the motherfucking world famous Ice House. 8:30 p.m. Be there or be squared. Lee is going deeper than deep that night.
Again, you just glazed over. That's a fun guest for Wednesday. I'm excited.
Yeah, fuck it. We're doing it. And then we're
Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
I'm going to do the first set.
Fuck, I brought him on stage at the Comedy Store last week.
Tremendous.
And it was incredible to bring him up. And then the stuff he was doing was killing me. He's got this new stuff about just internet bloggers or YouTube commenters and stuff, and I was dying, man. Guy's fucking great.
Beautiful. Hit it, cocksucker.
All right. The show is brought to you by I'm trying. The show is brought to you by onit.com. Use code word church to get 10% off. If you go to hitecigs.com, that's hit the letter e-cigs.com, you're going to get 20% off of the best e-cigs and e-cigars. Better tasting, longer lasting. The proof is in the vape. Use code word Joey's Church to get 20% off. Go to naileditlife.com. That's naileditlife.com and use code word Joey Diaz to get 20% off of the premier vapor pen on the market. It's good for oil and for wax. And go to irondragontv.com and use code word Joey to get 2 free rentals of any of their martial art movies in the 8-Man series. It's Joey, and you get 2 free rentals.
Awesome.